to you from the Radio for One studios in Franklin, Michigan. Welcome to the Detroit Cast.
Big fan.
A show not just free of charge, but free of FCC regulations.
Thank you for your support of the Detroit Cast.
Oh, there it is.
And without further delay, it's showtime. Please welcome the Detroit Cast. Here are your hosts, Mike and Jay.
Hello there, everybody. Welcome to the Detroit Cast. Where are we? Huh? What day is it? Oh, Is that right? Is it Tuesday?
Yeah, it's Tuesday.
Yeah, okay. I didn't trust.
Whoa. He says OE, and it was right. It is Tuesday.
Okay.
Spelled correctly and everything.
All right.
What are you talking about, Mike?
No, I looked
We're
at it.
sitting in your clean fucking basement. That's
Huh?
the weird thing.
You like that?
This place is clean.
Yeah, we've
How
got
much you
company
pay for
coming
this?
this week, so yeah. Paid nothing. Looks good though, doesn't it?
A little bit of elbow grease.
Yeah, absolutely.
Looks very good.
Yeah. Thank you. It is a Tuesday. Welcome to the show, everybody. How are you, my friend? You feeling any better?
No. I'm really looking forward to that root canal.
Are you?
Yeah, I called today, tried to get it moved up, but couldn't.
Really?
So I kind of feel like if I could just cut this side of my face off,
You'd be good.
like maybe deli slicer, just right,
Is it
right down to
there or is it inside?
It's inside. It's, there's tooth back here.
Hell
There's
yeah.
that molar back there.
Yeah.
It's causing me a problem.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So, but it's the whole side of my face, and it's going into my ear and down my neck. So,
Yeah.
you just slice that off. I'll keep the other half of my face, but
Can you do that? Half a face?
you know what I really want? I do it right now. It's just a ice skate and a boulder,
And just
knock it right out.
oh God, that sounds painful.
I just want
Been
it out
there.
of my head.
Other than that, did you
Yeah.
have
Other
a
than
good-
that, great
decent
day. Yeah.
Yeah, good. Well, we've dare I say a big show today. We got a lot to get to. Texting and driving, E's favorite pastime.
Yeah. We'll see
Not my
if this
favorite
changes
pastime.
anything.
Not my
Yep.
favorite pastime.
Larry Flint has weighed in on Hugh Hefner's decision to not have nudes in Playboy in what is it, March?
Larry Flint's
Oh,
still
that-
alive.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm serious. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
But
We've got a update on ISIS. Well, not really an update on ISIS, but a little ISIS story.
A
And-
little one. Yeah.
yeah, for sure. It's a little one. We've got a homecoming, local or not local, but a homecoming story. Missing body. We might even check in with Gary, the dead body expert, and get his opinion on a couple things. Eddie Murphy talking Cosby, sort of, a little bit. Lamar Odom. I suppose we should probably start where everybody's hoping we'll start, which is the big news out of Metro Detroit today, which is Drew and Mark out at 105.1.
Yeah.
Kind of a shocker to see that come out of nowhere. I wish I could tell everybody that I had some great revelation behind the scenes stuff. I really don't. I haven't talked to those guys. I reached out to them. As you can imagine, whenever things like this happen, it is a tornado hits your life with the
Yeah.
phone calls don't stop. The
Phones are being blown up.
inquiries don't stop. And I don't want to pile onto that. I've had small communication with them and they'll be fine. They're great at what they do. But yeah, that is the story today. Drew is off the air at Greater Media's Magic 105.1 over disagreements with show content and talent led to a breakdown. And I can't wait to ask him what that means.
Right.
I don't know what that means. The station's management announced today that his time as host of the afternoon drive show is over. Matt Derry is going to host in the interim. It was Greater Media's desire to take the station and especially the show in a direction that Drew could not agree to. It included changes specifically in content and personnel, said his agent Loretta. Yeah.
Do you know Loretta?
I do know Loretta. Yep. I believe that's Mike Novak's wife. Mike, of course, passed away a couple years ago, but
Longtime agent.
yeah, longtime agent. Exactly. That was the sole reason why the parties could not reach an agreement. They wanted to add people that were not consistent with the show he has delivered the past 2.5 years. If that's true, then there's no way Drew is going to play ball with that. When people are trying to tell him what changes to make to his show, that ain't gonna fly with Drew. Like Drew is very, and rightly so, he's very, he has his show. He knows what he's doing. He's very good at what he does. And that's the way it goes. So I don't know who they would want to bring in if it's, who knows, but yeah, I could see that being an issue for Drew.
Well, some of the
more so than money.
Some of the chatter has been they wanted to bring it more back centrally to sports, right?
Yeah.
This was very, very much a mixture of what he used to do, but
Yeah.
very focused on sports because it's a sports channel.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a tough thing. I don't know. I don't know why, it's hard because doing a sports show, I could see how Drew would get really bored just doing X's and O's sports for 4 hours.
Do it. Honestly, we talked about it for like 40 minutes yesterday with U of M, MSU.
Yeah.
We have our moments, but
yeah,
that's enough for me, man.
Yeah. Drew loves sports. Obviously, Mark loves sport. We all love sports, but I don't know, with a talent, I don't know, with a guy like that, I think you just let him do his thing. And, if it doesn't work out there, at least he's in a position to be able to go, fuck it. All right.
Yeah.
I won't do it then,
right.
Which is the best position to be in. I love how anytime something like this happens, anytime any news happens regarding Drew or Mike or the shows, it's like, well, sign him up at Radio 1 Studios. and then the talk starts. Does this mean Jay's
Later,
out?
Jay.
See you, Jay.
Later, E.
Yeah. So those guys are done. Drew will be here on Monday.
Yeah, it was
Mark will
it was
be here on
fun. I'm
Monday.
glad I could fill in.
Yeah, you kept the seat warm for everybody.
Yeah.
No, the fact is, honest to God, dude, we would totally talk to those guys if they wanted to come in here and do something and do a podcast. And my personal opinion is they'd crush on a podcast. Not having the FCC, not having those regulations, and Drew's in a position where he could probably do whatever he wants. But they could do really well if Drew and Mark wanted to do something. Drew and Mike and Mark wanted to do something.
If you and Drew wanted to do something.
Well, yeah, that goes without saying. Obviously, Drew and I would be a great fit together. No offense, Jay. Obviously, no
none
offense.
taken.
Yeah.
I'm just some guy. Believe me, I know that.
No, dude, you've got your home right here where you belong, and I think this show is doing well. So I'm not worried about that. But it's funny because we're learning how hard it is to just go and make money and do that thing. Like,
it's a bit of a new frontier.
Yeah. And the idea that, well, cool, bring Drew and Mike to Radio for One Studios and have them do a podcast there. It's like, okay,
they won't
great.
need to be paid or anything.
Yeah. Who's gonna pay those guys the kind of money it would take to put a show like that on? Anyone?
E?
No.
E, you got that?
Give up
you
your
got this
Zot
shit.
mopping check.
You
for
got
that?
this shit.
Yeah, I don't think that would quite cover the figure that he was getting
Yeah.
before that.
No,
Yeah.
there's ways to make things like that happen, though, and of course, we'd love to talk to those guys.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think there's still some gas in that tank, and it could be a lot of fun, man. It was fun doing the Drew cast with those guys and the early Detroit cast. So, unfortunately, I tried calling Drew today, and like I explained, he's, doing his thing. So I'm not going to force it, but I'll talk to him as soon as possible and see where it goes. Right. What else can you say? I don't know.
Anyway. Comment?
I don't have
You're
much
probably
to say.
bummed, dude. You love listening to that show.
I actually listen. So, I mean, to be honest, if I was in my car from 3 to 7, that is what I listen to. And I don't like Lenny and Foster. So, but I like Derry. I don't know who's going to take over. I like Derry. So I guess if Derry ends up taking over, it's all good to me.
Mm-hmm.
Derry does a good job for sure.
Yeah.
I think he does a real good job of having sports. But they have a lot of good people on that show on a regular basis, which is actually why I told Mike this earlier, which is why I actually like 105.1 over 97.1, because I think they would have made a big push to have it not just be caller-driven radio and actually have ESPN experts come on and talk about the Michigan game that weekend and whatnot, as opposed to just
good Spielman interview today.
Was there? I missed that, but I mean, go back. But but the point is they have people on as opposed to, I don't care necessarily just to hear an hour of 5 minutes of a topic and then 45 minutes
Guys
of listeners calling
giving
in.
their piece. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
No, we really do have a lot of good sports people in this town. For the most part, there's some shitballs for sure.
Yeah.
But there's some really good ones.
Yeah.
In my
it's a
opinion.
big sports town. You have to have good. Good
And by the way, even though I don't like Valenti, I understand that he's very good at what he does. I just, personally don't like listening to that show, but I'm not stupid. He's very good at doing radio and very good at getting response out of people doing radio.
Yeah.
Which is the key, right? I mean, so.
Yeah, absolutely. Honestly, I've never really listened to those guys. I know that a lot of people talk about Valenti, and I'm sure he's really good, like you say, but I haven't spent a whole. He's the State guy, right? He's a big State fan.
Well, the reason I think he is good is for the reasons I kind of just stated there. Is that look, everyone
Gets a
knows,
reaction.
everyone has an opinion on Valenti for the most part around here. If you listen to sports radio, you either like him or hate him, but you have an opinion on his.
I imagine Sparty fans love him and Wolverine fans hate him.
You know, that
Usually
isn't
the
the
way
reason
that
I
goes.
don't like him, though. It has nothing to do with that necessarily. That certainly isn't the
Do you
draw.
remember back in the day, Greg Henson? when he was with Jamie?
Yeah, I knew Greg.
Greg
Jamie's great too.
Greg was sort of a Michigan version of Valenti. I mean, Valenti, I think, is Henson times 10 in terms of, pissing people off.
Yeah,
It's just,
yeah.
He's
Like,
great.
why? Why would he? What is he? Did you guys have? I mean, I don't know. I'm putting it on the spot.
I don't
but-
listen as much. I don't. You know what? Honestly, I haven't listened to 97.1 much at all since 105.1 kind of went sports.
Isn't Bentley working with those guys?
From what I know, he is.
Yeah. I don't. I've heard that before from people that he pisses people off, and
He's just unapologetically a big statement, but at the same time, he'll tell it like it is in terms of if their coaching sucks or they did something stupid, he'll say it.
yeah.
But yeah, he will take anyone on who wants to go with him in terms of a U of M fan.
There's been times where back when I did listen once in a while where I absolutely he had me yelling at my radio.
Really?
Yeah. So, but whatever, man.
So anyways, those guys are out at 105.1. It sounds like Drew's on a non-compete for 3 months, but obviously that doesn't apply to a podcast.
Well, it might.
That applies.
You have to read it.
I would. I'd be shocked if he signed something that said he couldn't do a podcast locally. That doesn't make sense. I mean, I would think 60 miles within of the tower.
That was signed back when podcasts were on people's radar, though.
Yeah.
So
it's a good point. I guess I'm speaking a little out of school. I'd still be surprised. Although if any podcast was on their radar, it'd be this one. As far as greater media goes, they're not happy about us. But anyway, hopefully I can give you more of an update once I talk to those guys. But anyway, it was fun today. Having the phone blow up like that, always an exciting time of the day, I got to say. Anyway, should we move on to other things?
What do we got?
Lamar Odom.
Oh, great.
Do you
Yeah.
care? Dude,
No, don't care. Didn't care before. Don't care now.
I know. Then they're in the point right now where there's just mixed. Nobody can say for sure. Like you read People and then you read TMZ and they're giving, and the LA Times, and they're giving completely different stories as to what's going on. One, he's a drooling vegetable, and the next one, he's texting people. So it's like, well, which is it? Like, well, months of rehab ahead for him. He's going to have to learn how to walk again and talk again. And then the next article you read is like, oh yeah, he's up. He's saying hi. They got him into a chair today and he was texting people. So I don't know what the hell to believe. And I'm kind of like you. I'm like, part of me feels like you have to do the story, but I don't care.
I don't do it. Don't read no part of that story. Bye-bye.
done
I
with
was gonna
it.
say,
See you, Lamar.
dude, do we have a boss telling you have to?
Yeah, the boss is upper management's been all over my ass today because we haven't spent enough time on Lamar Odom.
Story.
Do we have Eddie Murphy?
It's not Lamar Odom. It's the Kardashians, essentially, is what it is.
Yeah,
Fuck the Kardashians.
yeah, I agree completely.
By
with that.
extension, sorry.
Yeah,
Fuck you, Lamar.
yeah. Sorry, dude.
It is funny though, and I know you don't want to talk about it, but the one funny thing about that is how much the Kardashians have like taken down names that people have had on their own accomplishments. Reggie Bush, won a Super Bowl, and yet once he got mixed up with Kim, it's like they're just this monster.
Yeah,
This
just
vortex.
Right.
who's she dating now? Chloe, isn't she dating someone? It seems weird to me. Like she's totally hooked up with this guy, and then
I know.
it's like, okay, you're getting divorced from this dude, and now you're claiming that they got this bedside vigil going for as long as it takes.
Whatever works for the brand, man.
Yeah, I think you're right.
That is what it's all about. It's all about the brand, and it's nothing about love or whatever.
Speaking of the brand, our friends at Zott Ford want to go above and beyond to make the TDC family happy. So for a limited time or until they run out of space, Zott Ford and Holly will take anything in on trade toward the purchase of a new or pre-owned vehicle, as long as they don't have to feed it. You got a microwave, bring it. Television, done. Blow dryer, yes. Last week's birthday cake, yum. Boat, snowmobile, four-wheeler, yeehaw. The Proops, nope, they need to be fed. So hurry down to I-75 at exit 98 with whatever you have to trade in for cash when you buy or lease your next vehicle from our friends at Zott Ford.
Eddie Murphy. We all remember seeing Eddie for, I don't know, 10 seconds at the 40th anniversary to SNL.
Yeah, right.
And he was supposed to do, if you remember, he was supposed to do that Cosby skit because he does a killer Cosby. Remember when he did Raw, the stand-up?
Absolutely. And that was just when that was all breaking and he didn't want to go there, right?
It was, yeah, that's what they're saying. But I kind of remember that story as almost being broken by then. I mean, it was, everybody was talking about it.
You could see why, though, out of respect to a former mentor, he didn't want to go there then.
Yeah.
I know you were pissed about it. You wanted him to go there, but you could sort of see that.
Yeah. Sort of, but he was never afraid to go there with anybody else.
Yeah, but he's different now. He's a totally different entertainer than he was.
Yeah, that's true.
30 years ago.
That's true. But I don't know why now. Like there were what 25 girls that had come out at that point when the SNL 40th.
Well, once you hit 50,
then all of a sudden it's okay. You can run with it. Well, he mocked Bill Cosby. I don't even know if mocked is the right word. While accepting the Mark Twain Prize for American Humor at the Kennedy Center on Sunday night, this happened. Murphy pointed out that in 2009, Cosby received the same award. He then asked the audience while holding his trophy, Do you all make Bill give his back? Kind of playing on the fact that everyone's taken back their honorary degrees,
right.
The ridiculousness of the honorary degrees. Murphy said he thinks that Cosby should have one final show and just talk crazy. And then he actually busted into his Cosby, and then did like 5 minutes of stand up.
I don't have that.
You got the Cosby part.
I have the Cosby part. I don't have the 5 minutes of stand up.
Yeah.
Bill has one of these. Did y'all make Bill give his back? No, because I know there was a big outcry from people. They was trying to get Bill to give his trophies back. You know you up when they want you to give your trophies back. You want to give his trophy back to him? He should do one show where he just come out and just talk crazy now. I would like to talk to some of the people who feel that I should give back my trophies.
Motherfucking trophies. Yeah.
Pretty much what I found.
And then he did 5 minutes of stand up. There's Tracy Morgan. He had a bunch of people there.
It's not out on PBS yet. I think that's some of the because most of these you can find the whole speeches, but it's not on PBS until
What
November.
is that award again?
The Mark Twain Prize for American Humor.
Did you ever see Will Ferrell's?
Yes.
Oh, that was a great one.
Was it?
Yeah.
I don't think I saw it.
I've watched it. I've seen the whole version of it.
Yeah, that's a really good one.
What was he? Do you remember
Just
any
receiving the award? I don't remember any part of the scene.
Yeah, I think there wasn't like a fake. I think there was a fake version of what do you call those?
The bust.
The bust,
Yeah,
and he
crashed
broke it or something. Yeah, something.
Just classic Ferrell.
From there, Murphy continued to do another 5 minute stand up set, the first he's done in 28 years, and one that he started planning a few weeks ago.
Wow,
isn't that
How
crazy?
did he go that long, man?
Yeah, like you said, he just changed.
He did. He went completely to like family, and good for him. I mean, it's been a great business model for him. But
yeah,
all these, I don't even know. I can't even name one. Dr. Doolittle and shit like that.
Oh yeah, the Nutty Professors and the Beverly Hills Cop and.
Well, Beverly Hills Cop was one of the last sort of edgy ones he did, and then he went into all these family-oriented ones.
Yeah, the money. There's
Yeah,
a lot of money in that.
yeah. He filled the sort of void that they needed, like a funny Family Guy.
Yeah,
You never would have thought he'd be that though. Watching like Delirious and Raw back in the day.
Oh,
Delirious,
so good,
dude. Being a kid, I don't know. I was like 11 or 12 when that really hit my friend's scene.
Yeah.
And we must have just listened to that a million times.
Dude, we
man.
could recite word for word. In
Lemonade, that cool
refreshing drink.
We gotta win
This race.
Yeah, dude, it was just classic. The whole thing, Goonie Goo Goo, all that shit.
Oh yeah,
it's a really good one.
Watching that even just for a minute, don't you want like an hour more?
Yeah,
like when you're watching him do his delivery, just the way he stands there.
He was so good.
Oh, he was the best. He was. We probably were dating ourselves, but man, he was amazing. So he Arsenio Hall said that Murphy practices his routine earlier in the day for him and Chris Rock. Imagine that, sitting in the room with Arsenio and Chris Rock doing that bit. Earlier in the year, Murphy had refused to impersonate Cosby. We all remember that. Cosby, meanwhile, had his honorary degrees. Oh, also Kevin Nealon was there, Piscopo, Tracy Morgan. He had 2 more honorary degrees stripped from him last week. Cosby, that is, not Eddie. This time, an honorary doctorate of arts given to him in 2000 by Tufts University. So he's not Dr. Cosby from Tufts anymore. I know we've talked about it, but that is just, I don't know why that is so irritating to me, the
Giving
idea.
these things.
Yeah. What is the thought behind those? Have we discussed that? Like, is that just about money? Is that trying to link your name to a celebrity? Is that what that's about?
I think so. Just have them at your commencement and link it. Yeah, exactly.
He had previously lost degrees from Brown, Fordham, Lehigh, Marquette, Baylor, Wilkes. Everybody's pulling him back. Temple, UMass.
Temple was his alma mater, wasn't it?
So was UMass.
Okay.
Yeah, he went to both. But
at this point, what does he have left? I'd be interested to see what honorary degrees he has left and who's holding out.
Imagine
what
this
school-
empty trophy case in his house. Just things keep getting removed. Yeah, what's still
what
there?
school is holding out? What school is like, we're sticking by it? I don't know.
did you guys see the cover of Ebony magazine this month?
No.
They've got a picture of the Cosby Show.
Oh, with like the shattered glass.
Yeah, with like the main shatter on Cosby's face and then the cracks through all the other people's faces.
Mhm.
And there's outrage over that. I know it's weird. It
Somehow
was
racist.
Well, it was released last week, and
It's Ebony, man.
I know the corresponding article is a piece on the juxtaposition of Cosby's beloved portrayal of Cliff Huxtable on that show and the assault claims being levied against him in real life. The editor for the magazine, Kierna Mayo, has come under fire from the black community.
You're kidding.
No, I wouldn't joke about that, Paul. Which I don't really understand. Like, there's a segment of the population who believes that because the Cosby Family as a show was so important to the black community that it's hands off.
Yeah.
Like, you shouldn't be able to even talk about that. And I think it lends credibility to Ebony magazine to go there and go, look, this is what it is. What do you want us to do about it?
No, you're right. We talked about that before. Just this real, I don't know, just dismay over the fact that Huxtable family wasn't that anymore. Wasn't like this groundbreaking thing where people can point to and go, yeah, that's where culture turned for us as a people, where people started to respect us as members of society, just like anybody else, the doctor, the lawyer, the loving family. And that's how it should be portrayed. That's the first time it was portrayed like that. And there's huge, I don't know, regret, I guess.
Yeah. It's a bummer of a story. Would you feel comfortable showing that show to Sweet Pie?
Sure.
Yeah. See, that's kind of how I feel. Like, whatever. I can separate Cliff Huxtable from Bill Cosby, the man.
Yeah.
Like that show is what it was, and
certainly watch it. You and I would watch it in a different light now, but yeah, I mean,
the messages are still there.
Sure.
You would think those still hold true. I mean, I guess you could say the same thing with Seventh Heaven. Would you think?
Oh, what was that? Yeah,
he was
right.
the priest on that show, right? Or the preacher?
Yeah,
you watched it.
Yeah, he was a father and and then the priest
who was diddling little kids or something.
Dude. How about
Showing
anything
his
with
thing.
OJ in it, man? Do you watch anything with OJ? Naked Guns?
Yeah, I have, and
Towering Inferno?
Was he in Towering?
I think so.
Really? I don't remember that.
He was in one too where he was like a bus driver and the bus was being chased by bad guys or something. Do you remember that one? It was
OJ was?
Yeah, it was like late 70s, early 80s. I can't remember what it was called.
I don't remember that at all.
Yeah.
No.
If we had a nerd here, they'd be furiously typing.
Yeah, we're down a nerd tonight.
Yeah.
I think McCard's hunting or something, and K-Dug's probably got some. I don't know. Is there some holiday in Canada?
I don't know.
Going on right now?
We're not aware of some nerd thing going on underground we don't know about.
Yeah. So anyway, like I said, I think that gives credibility to Ebony that they can at least tackle that and go, hey, look, what it is. It almost seems racist to say you can't talk about that because they're a black family. Like,
just whitewash the whole thing, Mike.
Exactly. Right.
Hey, got to tell you about our buddy David Helm. This segment is brought to you by Helm Law. If you're facing criminal charges, don't become just one of 30,000 cases for the public defender. Get real representation from Helm Law, whether you're leaving your children in the car, mouthing off to a cop, or have your hands full on a bus. Helm Law will make sure you remain out there walking amongst us. Call them at 248-679-8804 or go online at helmlawpc.com to set up your free consultation. Tell them you support the Detroit Cast and receive 15% off.
Hey, you want to give the number for Gary?
Yeah.
I'll call him in a second here.
Yeah, start the story.
Yeah, well, you guys will remember this story when we were talking about the Texas woman whose body was stolen from the casket following her funeral service. It was a couple months ago, and they still have not found the body or who's responsible for taking it. And if you remember, her name was Julie Mott. 25 years old.
Dude, didn't she have a syndrome or a she had a fibrosis.
She had your favorite
yes,
fibrosis.
Absolutely she did.
Do you remember your favorite fibrosis?
Cystic?
Yeah, obviously. Not my favorite fibrosis. It's obviously up there. Peyronie's.
Top 5?
Yeah.
Top 5 fibroses?
Yeah. It's definitely one of my top 5 fibroses. I do have a couple others though. I mean, pulmonary fibrosis obviously is up there.
Yeah.
Peyronie's disease. It gets mislabeled a lot, but Peyronie's, where your dick goes sideways.
Oh,
it's a fibrosis.
I didn't realize that.
Absolutely. Nephrogenic systemic fibrosis,
Okay.
which obviously is the skin one, and progressive massive fibrosis too is one of my all-time favorites.
I stand by cystic.
Yeah, progressive massive is good. It's the coal miner's lung.
Oh,
Yeah. So I'm just saying it's not to be discarded. That's all I'm saying. But cystic is hard to, it's usually ranked number 1 in the country every year, when they open the polls.
Took this young lady down to Chinatown.
Absolutely. At 25 years old, she was really hot.
It did its job, you mean?
It did.
Complete their mission?
She was really hot. I don't know if you guys remember what she looked like, but
I remember she was good looking.
Her remains have still not been found, and they're begging the public for information. The beautiful blonde's parents, Charlotte and Tim Mott, held a press conference.
Does it say beautiful blonde in there?
It does. Yeah. Oh,
2 months out, right?
It's been 2 months.
Dude.
Yeah.
Come
begging
on,
for her body to be returned. We ask you, please.
Sick guy. Seriously, please, sick guy, give it back to the parents.
That's almost exactly what they said. Please return her to us. Return Julie to us. I was her caregiver, the one who drove her to the doctor visits, stayed with her throughout her many hospital stays, and in her later years, her best friend. Without a doubt, she loved me as much as I loved her.
She's just a vessel at this
Dude,
point.
I get it, but I'm sorry. I get it, but dude, so what? It's been 2 months and she's dead. What's gonna do? You're gonna get her messed up body and throw it in the ground, and now it's okay? It'll be better?
That has to be hugely torturous to know that some dude just banging away on this 2 month dead chick.
We know that's what's going on.
Yeah.
She's too hot. Not
what?
Nothing.
Too hot not to.
Finish your thought.
Too hot not to.
I cut myself off. I didn't mean that.
If I had said that, it would have been a finish your thought. You guys would have been yelling at me.
Well, that's you. That's
Finish
not
your
me.
thought, Mike. Go ahead.
Well,
We
yeah.
interrupted.
She's if you're gonna steal the body of someone and she happens to be 25 and hot, I gotta think that's top of the list of what you're doing it for. Right?
Well, I mean, we speculated before, like a satanic thing or something. But as you pointed out, I think they want a live person in order to do that shit.
Yeah.
They want to kill him and do crazy shit to him. Yeah, you don't just steal a body like this of a hot chick unless you're gonna bang it.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
That's my opinion as well.
IMO.
This selfish person who took her could not have loved her any more than I do. Family have said they think they know who stole her body, but no arrests have been made. A suspect hasn't been publicly named either. There were reports the last person, remember, leaving the funeral, who was like obsessed with her,
Yes.
was texting and calling her like crazy before she died. And what happened with that dude? They know who it is.
They were on to him, and it's like, oh, all right, they've got this now. No, and then we just crickets.
Yeah, crickets. Where is he? I mean, can't someone keep an eye on him and go like, where's he shuffling off to for an hour every day? I mean, seriously.
Gross. Can you imagine the balls though. You're in the hallway of a funeral home, dead body right there. You're looking like, yeah, I'm doing it. Open it up and just grab her under the arms, fireman's carry. What do you do?
Dude,
I think they said there was a 3-hour window from when the funeral home closed that night to when they were going to cremate her the next morning.
To me, I just think
in that 3-hour window, this dude got a hold of her and
there's no security camera. That surprises me.
I know.
I just think like Jay does. I think like you'd have to like do that final, and you always be thinking like, okay, now once I get going, there's no going back. So
I know,
you're right.
You do a few looks.
You do a few looks, and then my worst fear would be randomly the owner comes later at night. Oh, I forgot something, or
dude,
I don't know.
As soon as you've done more than open that casket, how do you explain it?
So you have to just
even
boom,
opening
boom, boom.
it, you could be like, oh, I just had to say one last goodbye.
Thing. Yeah.
But once you have your arms under those armpits and
it's
you're
go
heaving
time.
around, it's go time.
There's no
baby.
looking back, man.
Woo!
We are looking forward. That's it. Yeah, because there's the Mott's. Tim Mott said he's angry with the individual who stole her body and says he's got a sick mind. That person's got to be sick.
Well,
what else could it be? Charlotte Mott.
Nothing good is happening with this body, right? As a parent, you've got to know that. Like, wow, there's nothing good that can come of this. Nothing.
Well,
there's no bright side to this.
Is there any possible good thing?
No. That's what I'm saying to you.
Did they already pay for the funeral? I mean, they can.
The funeral's been paid for. The cremation's been.
They could get their money back.
That's the one thing. You get a lawsuit out of this.
Get their money back.
I'm just saying, like, God, this thing's gone. Like, there's nothing. It's being desecrated.
Yeah,
over and over and over.
I mean, what's best case scenario?
Best case is the guy
beats off on it
once, doesn't insert, and then I guess puts it in a shallow grave. Best case.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of think that too. If there's no insertion, and at this point, they say still in this story, there were no signs of forced entry. That is in the story. You can see I underlined it. There are no signs of forced entry, which is still a good sign 2 months out that there's no sign of forced entry.
Yeah.
Again, we're not sure if they're talking about the funeral home or the girl.
how they're claiming that when they haven't found the girl, but they're claiming it.
Yeah, that's their words, not mine. Should we call Gary the dead body expert? I have a few questions about this.
I do too.
All right, go ahead. E. You want to dial him up?
The person you are trying to reach is not accepting calls at this time. Please try your.
What does that mean?
I can try it again, but
try it again. It's a weird area code.
Are you kidding me, dude?
What?
Fucking 313? You got wrong?
No, I didn't. But that looked like a 3.
Yes,
no, 317. We just dialed, and we almost did it again.
You know what's that? I'd like.
God damn it!
I would love to post this. Post this.
What's
with
that?
just the 3-1.
Dude, there's an assumption. The dude lives in Lake Orion. He works in Detroit.
No. With cell phones and shit nowadays, everybody
Fuck me.
No, fuck you. You're right. Fuck you. I have friends all the time that have numbers that are all over the place with cell phones. My brother still has a Vegas. I think my brother still has a Vegas area.
All right,
code.
try it with 313 and see what happens.
Okay, I will. I'd love to post this image and see what everybody else thinks that looks like to them. And then I'll just say
it's
I'm
like
a
a 3 to me.
Yeah, I'd argue it's
seeing
a
as
3.
where we are in the country.
Let me see it.
Where does that
Let
look
me
like
see
a 3
it.
to you? It's bullshit.
Fuck you, Jay. I see. 313
I'm
all
sure
day
you
long.
do.
Seriously, I don't see a
It's
7.
There's
That
not.
is absolutely. That's a 3.
No.
I see.
Not
We'll
even.
post this.
Yeah, you should. Oh, well, of course, everyone's just gonna say it looks like a 3.
Yeah, because it does.
Nobody likes me, so who cares?
I saved it.
Hello.
Gary, the dead body expert.
Hello, gentlemen.
It's Mike and Jay.
Jay
How
and
are
Mike
you?
from the Detroit
Turn
Cast.
your
How are
radio
you?
down in the background.
Turn my radio down.
Well, I can hear you.
We do. We've got a weird little echo here. What's going on?
All right, let's kill the Bluetooth. Hang on a second.
Yeah.
I just always wanted to say turn your radio down. I've never been able to say that on radio.
Please,
All right,
Gary, can you turn your radio
Just
down?
listen to your phone.
Are we better now?
That's better.
A little bit, yeah.
Suppose.
So how are we today, Gary?
Board there. We are well to quite well. How are you, gentlemen?
Pretty good. We've got a dead body question for you. You probably recall this story from a couple months ago where a young lady, her body was abducted from the funeral home before cremation.
Yeah.
She was hot, 25.
My favorite, fibrosis, took her down to Chinatown, cystic.
Yep.
And there was suspicion later that there was kind of this stalker guy who had a lot of contact with her leading up to her death. And so that he was under suspicion. For whatever reason, they haven't been able to finger him. as the guy.
Yep.
But we're wondering, is he fingering her? I guess our long story short, we are wondering, what could this guy be getting pleasure still after 2 months, or if not after 2 months, after how long is he getting any sort of pleasure out of banging a dead body? Go, Gary.
Oh man, I think it's short-lived. I think he's on day 2 trying to find a place to get this thing out of his house.
Just because of the stench.
So, yeah, I'm thinking he's probably gone the dismemberment route and like in the freezer kind of weird stuff, and kind of packaged it up like for later use.
Is there anything that can be done to a vagine once it's dead that will keep it afloat for a little while longer?
By afloat, I think he means secretion, right?
Right.
That's the key.
Or you could always lube something. I don't know how to say it, but I mean, is there anything that you can do to a body once it's dead
to keep it in fleshlight order?
Yeah.
Sure. I'm thinking you go the route of either a little bit of formaldehyde, to preserve, or you maybe even go the tanning route, to tan like fine leather. And then, to reinvigorate, you come back with maybe just a little bit of lube or something and, have at it.
God.
So
kind of like what we were going to do with mounting Big E's head, right? We were going to take it and we were going to tan it and, do the taxidermy route.
Yeah.
You're talking in past tense now. We are going to do that.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah. Just like we are going to do. Correct.
Yes.
Yeah. We want it mounted on the wall so that when Jay and I walk in the studio each day, we can slap the shit out of E's face. That was the whole goal.
I'm thinking we use a racquetball or a basketball bladder, so it's got a little bit of bounce to it. You guys get a little feedback.
Okay.
It's a good idea.
I like
Just
that.
thinking ahead,
Yeah. So I think this body, like they had the funeral. So how long would she have been dead? 3 or 4 days at that point?
Well, remember, she probably was embalmed, so you might have a different scenario here.
Well, she was going to be, they were going to cremate her the next morning when she was stolen.
Right. So not every time does a cremation mean you did not embalm. So you may have planned on viewing. They may have embalmed her, because if she's going to sit for 3 days before they show, they're definitely going to embalm her. So if she's embalmed, all bets are off that she's decomposing. She might be looking just fine in his eyes.
Oh, wow. But how does she look in our eyes after 2 months?
Yeah, we're still gonna have some rough areas, but more importantly, he's going to have to uncork some things in order to make some use of things.
Oh no!
That's the bigger problem here.
Oh no! When
cork orifices?
When would it be corked?
There's a lot of corking. So when we're doing the embalming process, we cork noses, ears, eyes get glued shut, mouth is wired shut.
Oh.
And the lower extremities have probably about the equivalent of, I would say, a pillow's worth of cotton placed in it.
Wow.
Can that be removed?
Yeah. Yeah, it would take you a little while. It'd be like unstuffing a teddy bear through one of the eye holes, but sure.
Oh, damn it.
That is disgusting.
Oh, my God, Gary, the dead body expert.
Yeah, that's a lot of work.
Oh.
Yeah, it could take you a few minutes, but, you'll get there.
Those guys should. I don't know what you get paid to do that, but I feel like it's not enough.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
You were underpaid
Like
when you were doing
fancy purple shirts for you, Big E, though,
What do you say?
He got fancy purple shirts.
Oh, which I love, by the way.
But here's the thing, though. If she's embalmed, let's assume she is, then her body could look somewhat okay by now after 2 months.
Oh, for sure. And when an embalmed body, as long as it's not exposed to direct sunlight, if it's just in a normal household situation, you'd be amazed. You come in months later, look just fine. Look just like when you saw it, the first time.
What about when it's in the ground? What about when it's in the ground? Then is that the same thing? I guess it's just like how long when they're in the
depends on the ground conditions. So remember, below the ground is actually like a refrigerator. It's pretty stable at about 40 degrees in most areas. So the condition, barring any water, it holds up for a very long time.
Wow.
So you can bury someone, if the water doesn't get in that casket, you can exhume it years later and still look pretty good.
Holy shit.
Damn it.
I thought it was always just down to bones.
Around the moist areas. No. There's actually a really cool special that was just on where they dug up a guy from, what year was it? It was like 1989. It was it was 1963. He was buried following the Alcatraz escape. And they just dug him up last year. And you're going back to 60s embalming technology. And he actually looked leathered, but you could still tell it was that guy.
Seriously?
Like, it was,
Holy.
yeah, it was pretty amazing. When they turned his hands over, you could still pull fingerprints. I mean, it was pretty well intact.
Wow.
So this
So-
chick, then, I mean, this dude, he could just go on for years like this. Just set her in a rocking chair and be cool with it.
Yeah, prop her up, watch TV with her.
But if
You
she's
know.
not embalmed, she's
What?
she's a rotten mess, huh?
She's gone. Yeah, no, it's a disaster.
yeah.
Yeah, he only had about a day and a half, 2 days before he's changed his mind about that.
And then what would happen if he tried to forced entry?
Well, things start to fall apart. So as the fluid gets between the layers, it kind of starts to peel back, like
Oh, man.
like kind of like pulling
Sorry,
pantyhose off. If you imagine that,
Oh, no.
So Majora and
Yeah.
Menorah is just peeling right off before him.
Yes, yeah. So
It's just
might
falling
end up with a
apart.
sleeve, or might look like one of those lambskin things on there.
Ah.
Oh. Well, let's hope she was embalmed for his sake.
For his sake, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. You want the
Wow.
party to go on. If you're going to go through all that, you better be ready for a long party, right?
Now, if it's you, Gary, do you even want this body back at this point? I guess it depends on. No. Doesn't depend on embalming or non-embalming. I mean, you just it's just.
I mean, hopefully they made their peace at the time it happened. So,
Well, they're acting like they want it back still. The
yeah, they're
parents.
just being greedy, I think it's just pure greed in that case.
Yeah, just sue and be done with it, right?
This
Yeah.
is the weirdest story. This story is so weird to me. I mean, unless you really thought and planned this out, how could you possibly get away with that like that for this long?
Yeah, are you
Unless it's a
surprised-
totally random person that had nothing to do with this family and just wanted to steal a body.
Yeah, I mean, to me, there's more to it. I think that the guy himself would have to have such inside information to be able to pull that off that it almost sounds more like it's either a worker that's like one of their part-time guys that's got some satanic crap going on, or just somebody that knew that was in the satanic witch funeral home was going to have what, and she just happened to be a random day that she was there.
Yeah, that's a
Because remember,
possibility
you
too.
can watch the obits. You can see the listings of when someone's going to be at what location for funerals.
Yeah.
So you could find one with a door unlocked and say, oh, there she is, and it could be
Ugh.
totally random.
Now, when you were involved in this business, did you have security cameras and very careful to lock doors and all that shit? Or
I mean, you lock doors, but remember, every trade service, every embalmer, every transporter, everybody had keys to the places, or they were hidden like under mats and stuff. So it was pretty easy to get into a funeral home after hours.
Wow.
Very few of them had security systems. And a lot of times they had somebody living upstairs. So if somebody's living above and they're sleeping, you don't even hear anybody rattling around in the basement,
God, how can you
Yeah.
sleep in one of those places? Ugh, creepy.
Ugh.
Anyway.
The dead people won't hurt you. It's the creeps coming in to take the bodies that you got to worry about, right?
Yeah. Have you ever had that happen before, by the way, where you're working at, where someone tried to do that or was successful in doing that?
No, we didn't have any theft, but definitely had plenty of pranksters that would make you, like when you're in there doing stuff, scaring the crap out of you, or moving bodies around, making you think one was gone, or propping them up in chairs. So when the guy came in the morning, he's sitting there hanging out. And
Good. Oh.
Are you
we set a
serious?
couple old ladies around a poker table in the lunchroom one time instead of putting them on the mortar table.
Oh,
the guy came in and freaked out when he made coffee in the morning.
No way. Like the dog's playing poker, but with actual old ladies?
Yeah, with actual.
That is.
Boys
That's
will be
awesome.
boys.
Yeah.
You got it. Yeah,
Never
you
gets
gotta
old,
do
does it?
that. We're gonna keep it light,
Yeah. Well, thanks, Gary. Thanks for the time. We appreciate it. We were just really dying to know, like, how long you could keep a dead vagina alive, if need be.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, I'm not thinking I want to do it, but I think you could pull it off. So.
Yeah. Wow.
Well, thanks for the insight, sir. Talk to you
All right,
soon.
guys. We'll see you on Friday night.
Okay. Yeah, we'll see
All
you down there.
Hey. All right.
Cool. See you, dude.
Take care.
Bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
Hey, so remember, if you're a young, attractive female teacher who's eager to brighten her students' future, or you enjoy a good beer but can't seem to find the time to fix your taillight, call Helm Law 248-679-8804 or go online at helmlawpc.com to set up your free consultation. Tell them you support the Detroit Cast and receive 15% off.
We've got a 18-year-old woman with your favorite syndrome,
The Downs.
the Downs. Yes. And she's been crowned homecoming queen.
You know, she looked familiar to me.
Did she?
I saw this on video.
Yeah, I felt like I'd seen her before.
I felt
too.
like I knew her boyfriend too.
Did you?
I did. God, I've seen that guy somewhere.
Yeah. Well, her date gave this really touching. His video kind of went viral of him asking her to homecoming and captured the hearts of millions across the country. Of course, April Clark's her name. She became this internet sensation after her friend Sean Boots, who's 15, staged a very public proposal. Yeah, there she is.
She looks very familiar.
Yeah, she looks familiar to me
God.
too.
I feel like I know her.
Yeah. Anyway, is that weird that 18-year-old and 15-year-old?
I don't know. I think on that scene, probably not.
On the scene, like that high school or
The whole Mongoloid scene.
oh
Right.
I thought
I was
I-
thinking, like, I don't know what the Romeo and Juliet laws are, or the
I
actually
think
more like
they
the Corky
just-
and cousin Jerry laws are. But
You're talking about a dystrophy and a syndrome. You're mixing Jerry and Corky. Come on, man.
sorry.
Let's stick with the syndrome.
Sorry.
No, I think they kind of wipe that clean and just go.
So if it was like 13 and 18,
Hope
you cool
these
with that?
two young people can do their thing.
13 and 18, cool still?
Is the guy 18 or the girl?
Does it matter?
Yeah,
It does. Okay, so if she's 18 and he's 13, you're cool with it?
no problem with that.
Okay. All right. That's good. So yeah, he came up to her at school and like had a bunch of friends with him. Sean did, and like gave her a bouquet of flowers and some candy, and his buddies unrolled this big thing like, will you go to homecoming with me? There it is. There's the video. You want to see some of the video?
Yeah.
I haven't even seen it, but
Portrait.
yeah, of course.
No, I didn't get it on video.
Look at it, Proops.
Oh, yeah, I'm so excited.
She's excited.
Yeah, she is.
There's Sean.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Oh.
Look at those poops. Yeah. That's cute. Good for them. They're going to homecoming, and yeah, she ended up winning the crown for homecoming queen.
Oh,
There were like 5 chicks. My question is, can you
oh boy.
well, can she be nominated for homecoming queen and then lose?
Right.
I mean, once the
What kind
nomination's
of
been
monster
placed,
doesn't vote for her? You're
yeah.
right.
I mean, is that kind of a, like, would the other girls, the other 4 that entered the competition or were voted into this competition, homecoming queen, something that stays with you your whole life, you know? We all remember who was homecoming queen, right? Don't we? I don't remember either.
No.
Place it.
Thought you would know.
some bitch.
I think most people would. But this is kind of the new thing where it's like, oh, April won again. And it, you know, I've seen her win before. She's won
Dude, you're
multiple
right.
crowns.
That's what I was
You're
gonna
right.
say. She gonna because how can you vote her off?
It's a feel-good story. She cannot be denied.
Exactly.
So she just keeps winning on through.
My question is, has that ever happened where, you know, April gets onto the ballot and then is just trounced in a landslide?
Yeah, I think Stephen King showed us in Carrie what happens there.
Yeah. Well,
Right?
yeah.
Pretend she won,
Ooh.
and then she goes nutty.
Well, not even that, but if people just look at it and just go, oh no, April's not our homecoming queen. I mean, that's reserved for
Hot
so
chicks.
and so.
Sorry.
She's a lovely young lady.
Gorgeous eyes.
Looks familiar, but whatever.
Yeah.
She's got a very familiar look.
Yeah.
Do you get that a lot? You ask like I think I know you from somewhere. It's one of those
Terrible.
faces, I guess.
Yeah.
One of those faces.
Anyway, I was just a question I had.
No,
That-
I
that
think
if
she
you
has to win. If she's on the ballot, she has to win, or you're all monsters, you voters.
Yeah. I would
So
think
then
that,
just everybody with diseases has to win all the time. So
If that
you have-
person with a disease gets put on a ballot, yeah, they've
So
got
if
to
you're-
win.
yeah.
I kind of got screwed.
Disease. Yeah, all you needed to do was get put on the
I
ballot.
was on the
you
home-
were on a ballot?
I was on a
Oh, no.
homecoming.
Shut up, dude.
And I lost.
Like as a joke,
I
you were
think-
like
I
the
think I found out
dorky
later
guy.
that it was a joke.
Oh,
Yeah, of
geez.
course. What do you mean? Was it a joke? Really?
Well, I thought maybe he was one of those the eccentric popular guy.
But
Oh,
I
that
made
I
it.
remember.
But I made it. I made it one year to like homecoming, like on the ballot, but I didn't make it to the final like 16 or whatever.
So you weren't out on the field?
No. So maybe that's why.
Oh, E.
He was the voted in guy.
Damn it, dude.
Oh,
You're
man.
the guy everybody joked about. Let's put Fady on there. Oh, E.
Were you proud?
Nah, I don't remember. No. I'd have to really go back and remember what. I don't even remember what year it was. Honestly, it might have been junior or senior. I don't even remember.
Did we
really
ever
don't.
put anyone on the ballot that was like?
No.
See, the difference is when we were in high school, like if you put someone on the ballot that clearly
They'd
didn't
have
belong,
shut that down.
well, but they wouldn't have won, or maybe they would.
Oh, you mean like a mongoloid?
Yeah.
No, I
right.
think they would not have shut that down. The same thing would have happened. They'd have won.
Yeah,
You put a Lloyd on there.
Right. Huh.
Yeah, E, you got cheated, dude. You should.
Was there another one of you in the group?
Right.
I don't
Is there
remember,
a
dude.
better
Honestly,
looking
I
one?
really have to remember. I'd have to look back and think. Like I said, I didn't make it to the one where you went on the field. I think I just made it into the top 16, and then you voted. 8 made it onto the court or whatever it was.
Oh, you weren't on the court?
No, but I was in the voting at one point. Like there was a point where hypothetically I could have been voted in.
Yeah.
I remember demanding a recount.
Oh, E.
Did you really?
Well, I think jokingly I was like, I want a recount. Damn it, this is bullshit.
Yeah.
I can see him standing in the lunchroom.
Were you ever on one of those?
No.
No.
You?
Was your girl? My homecoming date was on it, and so for some reason I had to escort someone, but I don't think I was on the court. I don't think.
I have no idea.
If you're on the court, are you up for homecoming king? Is that what that is?
Dude, I don't know.
I'm asking the wrong group
I
of
think
people.
so.
Yeah, I don't think I was. No, I wasn't ever on the ballot. I don't remember.
I'd have to.
So long
Yeah.
ago. Anyway, that was my question. If you'd have to vote for them, and
Yes.
because I agree, I think you would. I think you would have to vote for them. Should we take a quick time out?
Let's take a quick time
Do
out.
we have any
gather our
reads we need to
thoughts.
get out of the way? Or we
No,
good?
we do not get these out of the way, Mike.
Right. But
We read
did we
them
get
in a
our first
meaningful
break
way.
reads in?
We didn't. We have one that we should read right now.
All right, do it.
Are you considering buying a new home but don't know where to begin? If so, schedule an appointment with Krista Jelski of Remax Suburban, and she'll explain the entire home buying process from beginning to end. And when you hire her as your realtor, Krista will have food delivered to your new home on moving day. Check out Krista's website at kristasellshouses.com or call her anytime at 586-918-0900.
We got a
That's 586, not 587. 586.
It looks like a 7.
We'll
post this. Yeah, I
Yeah.
wonder what the response will be.
No, okay, whatever.
Yeah,
Go.
it looks like a 3 to me. What are you gonna do? We'll get to this mini jihadi when we come back.
And we mean mini.
Yeah, he is absolutely We'll get to that, and a guy who got his arm ripped off and is getting a new arm or got a new arm.
Good news.
I don't even know you could do that. We'll do that and much more next.
The Detroit Cast continues after this short break. Detroit Cast continues now, bitches. Here's Mike and Jay.
Welcome back to the Detroit Cast on a Tuesday with Mike and Jay. Big E, of course, is here. My house, Paul. We've been through this.
Are you on live right now?
We are, as a matter of fact, yeah.
You're kidding.
No, I wouldn't joke about it, Paul. Swear to God. How are your gummy bears? Are you stalling with drops so you can eat gummy bears, you son of a
Trying to
bitch?
get those last couple chews in.
See what you're doing. You realize we're not going to be down to our last 13 bears again for about 13 years.
Yeah, what do we get up to? 85 pounds?
75. Well,
thought
if
we
you
got
count
10
the
more.
individual bags, I think we're probably up to about 80 pounds.
Okay. I thought we got 10 more
Of
pounds
gummy bears.
yesterday, no?
Yeah, we did.
Okay. I thought we were adding to 75, but
Oh, we
Okay.
were adding to 65, I thought. I estimated
Oh, we're right-
65.
You've
in
already
that
said
range.
75 though before, so it's got to be 85.
Okay, 85. We're up to 85 pounds of gummy
holy
bears.
shit.
I've been doling them out like business cards.
Yeah, by
Yeah.
the 5-pound bag.
I can't have 85 pounds of gummy bears
No,
on
you
hand.
can't.
That's not good for anybody.
Especially
Right
with
now,
the Prater Willies.
shut up, you. Right now, I've got 15, 20 pounds of gummy bears on hand in the house, and I don't like that.
They
We-
still
I-
taste really good, don't they?
We wanted a few bears. We were down to our last 13 bears.
Did we tell everybody that the greens, the flavor of the greens? Most people
I don't-
avoid the greens.
I know the greens.
Wrongly so.
Well, forever
'cause
we both
usually-
avoided the greens. We hated
Totally.
the greens.
Hated the greens, I thought. Greens and yellows, put them aside.
Because sour
grab
apple sucks.
The white is the best, right? White, then
White
red,
is the
and
best.
then orange you deal with. But you always set the greens aside. The greens are strawberry.
Yeah.
I had no
wild?
idea.
Do you know what the other colors are?
Orange
Orange is-
pineapple, right? For
Orange.
white.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the beautiful thing. I love white candies. Like
Do you?
white lifesavers, same thing.
Yep, I
white
agree.
dum dum suckers, same deal.
Yeah. Are those also?
Yeah, I think they're
Pineapple.
pineapple. Yeah.
I would have not guessed that. I would have thought red was strawberry for sure, but it is. You're right. Green is strawberry.
Little known fact.
Yes. So eat the green gummies, everybody. Very good. Anyway, welcome back to the show. Start the clock, E. God damn it!
Marcel!
Damn it, Marcel. We need a full-time nerd.
Oh, big time.
You can't.
These fucking nerds taking time off.
Yeah, I don't like it. Did you see? Have you followed it at all? You probably haven't. What's going on in the West Bank and Palestine?
I've not been able to, no.
Yeah, I know the story. I mean, it's a developing story that's been developing for, I don't know, 10,000 years. So at this point, it's like, oh, more of that. Okay. But it's really ramped up over the last week or two, couple weeks anyways, where they've had 42 Palestinians killed, 8 Israelis, where people are just walking up randomly to people in the street and stabbing them. So you see, like, there's like closed circuit television cams in places of business, and you'll see some guy like just strolling
Just
down the road,
wandering.
and then next thing you know, he's beelining back into frame, and there's 2 assholes chasing him with knives. Imagine that.
Again, man, perspective, right? Don't we live in a great place at a great time?
Yeah,
We are blessed to be where we are.
I agree. Well, we had another attack, and this guy was shot in a case of mistaken identity. In the panic, they thought he was the terrorist.
Oh, no.
Yeah. It unfolded in Israel. One Israeli soldier was killed. Several others were wounded when gunshots broke out. This happened late Sunday night in a bus station. Officials initially said there were 2 gunmen. One had been killed, the other wounded and captured. And then there's Abtum Zarhum, and he's a Eritrean national in his 20s.
Sure.
Yeah. He was shot by a security guard who mistakenly thought, oh, there's the guy. And you got the video there, E, of my man. And then people start piling on and kicking him, and
It's just totally not him.
dude, no, he's like a good dude.
So
Like,
he's not, he gets shot. He's not dead, though.
oh no, he's
He's
dead.
dead. Okay.
Yeah, he died later, but
They desecrate the body, do they?
yeah. There's my man. There's other video of him coming around the corner in the panic, running.
He's just some guy.
Yeah, he's running in the panic,
Oh, no.
and this security guard's just like, ah, and then boom, shoots him, and he goes
like a
down.
rent-a-cop kind of guy.
And now they're throwing chairs at his head and kicking him.
You're just at the mall or wherever
the
you
bus
are,
station.
bus station.
And people are like, get him.
So look
Fuck
at this
him.
dude holding him down with a chair. Look at, he's got a chair over his body. Is that
Yeah.
to hold him in place in case he tries to get up?
Exactly. And
Can't
people
he
are
just scoot backward?
people are yelling shit at him.
Let's say he had the gumption to get up. Couldn't he just scoot backward? What's this guy doing with the chair? Come on, chair guy.
Yeah. Oh, that poor kid. He's
Just
in his
bleeding
20s.
out, man.
He's in his 20s, and people are screaming at him. They come sliding in and kicking him in the face. Total mistaken identity. This guy goes by the name Mila. I told you what his real name was. I'm not going to say it again, but Mila was a good person, humble and quiet. He always tried to do his best at work. From what I know, Mila was there in order to renew his visa and was on his way back here to work, but he never arrived. An Israeli eyewitness to the beating, identified only as Dudu.
God.
Yeah, Dudu. Said it was very difficult to know who was who as the attack unfolded. If I would have known he is not the terrorist, believe me, I would have guarded him like I look after myself, Dudu said. In moments of fear, people do things they're not aware of. I didn't sleep all night. I feel disgusted with what happened.
Who said that?
Dudu did. Yeah.
Like,
An investigation is underway to bring those who beat him to justice. Isn't that that's a little tough, man. In the panic in the moment, some security guy shoots some guy and leads the whole chorus of people to believe that's the bad guy.
Yeah.
So, like, how do you
really blame them?
Yeah, I mean, as gruesome and shitty as that video and awful as that video is to watch, I mean, if you really believe that's the terrorist that comes in guns ablazing to the bus station,
can you be blamed for chucking a chair at him?
Yeah, kicking him in the face and yelling hurtful things at him. That just seems like I don't know. What?
What? Did you finish your thought?
I thought there was something coming there.
What?
You said hurtful things.
I've said hurtful
I'm
things.
the guilty one for uttering those terrible, ugly words that I don't mean.
I just thought that was coming.
I didn't give him those AIDS.
He's got AIDS. And
Okay.
when he had those AIDS, I went to my synagogue and I prayed for him.
Thank you, Don.
Did he?
I think he should be ashamed of himself. I think he should go into the background.
I agree. You want to see a mini terrorist?
Yes, please. A fidget version?
Dude, he's a fidget terrorist.
Oh my God.
Look at it, Proops. Look at that son of a bitch.
God damn it, man.
Look at it, Proops. He's completely unchained, too.
Can you trust the species with a weapon like that?
I don't know. Look at my man with a beard. What's up, dude?
Oh shit.
Look at it.
Oh shit. All hands on deck, right?
Yes. Look at him.
It's like something out of Star Wars, man. Just waddling around Mos Eisley.
He can't see above that tire.
No.
Look at it, Poops.
They're gonna get off the stool for him to get into the Toyota truck.
Yeah, but dude, from here down, he's got that shit.
Yeah.
I mean, he's looking serious.
He's taking out kneecaps left and right.
Does he still have to do the monkey bars?
Ooh.
It's a good question.
I mean,
Yeah.
or I guess they could have a shorter version.
Someone props him up.
Hold
him
it-
do the
hold him
monkey
up.
bars. He's barely taller than his machine gun. He's already earned the nickname Al Chihuahua.
Ah, nice.
Yes,
The
they're calling him.
Chihuahua.
Yep.
Cha-cha-cha, I'm a cha-cha-cha chihuahua. I'm the smallest dog in town. I never have to walk because they carry me around. When
at that
I am
chihuahua.
a puppy, I'm no bigger.
The same
than
guy
a
or
dog.
two different?
I think it's the same
And I
dude.
get no bigger even when I am grow up. Cha-cha-cha, I'm a cha-cha-cha chihuahua. Everybody think I'm cute. I can fit into a handbag or the pocket of a suit. I think I'm getting
He's
sleepy.
3 foot
It's
tall,
siesta time, you know.
and he's joined the
I'm a
terror war in
cha-cha-cha
Syria.
chihuahua, and I come from Mexico.
He, the mini jihadi is understood to have enlisted with Al Nusra,
Familiar with their work.
which is fighting the Assad regime and ISIS. Pictures posted online show him standing with a Kalashnikov and camouflage and with an ammo belt. In another, he poses with sunglasses, the one we saw. The images were shared on Twitter by this editor-in-chief of this English language Arabic news website, Al Masdar, who nicknamed him Abu Ahmad al-Chahuahua.
Fucking awesome.
Isn't that great? I tried to find out more about him, but the information was limited. All we know is that he's a member of the Al-Qaeda group Al-Nusra, and he's al-Chahuahua.
That little son of a bitch.
Chihuahua, and I come from Mexico.
Would that be one you'd want on your team? Would that dude be able to?
Like I said, I think all hands on deck. Why not? I don't know.
Yeah, throw him out there. I mean, is he a shield?
You know, he can. Yeah, I guess he can take fire.
Can they take fire? I don't know what
that's the thing is can you trust him? I don't know enough about this species.
Yeah.
And I don't know about letting him off his chain and letting him roam with putting a gun in his hands.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, you cage him at night though, right? I mean, you don't
think so.
When he shoots that gun, imagine like the kickback.
Oh yeah.
Does he fall?
Yeah, I think he's got to shoot with his back against a brick wall. That's the only way. Yeah, otherwise, he's doing backflips and the bullets are just flying and it's propelling him. And then he gets into a spinning motion. It's comical to watch, but
well, you have a situation like the little girl at the gun range with the Uzi.
Yeah, straight up and starts killing people. Is taking his own men out. Yeah, that's dangerous. I mean, you would never see that here in the States. One of those off their chains like that, off the leash, you know. But you know,
they're an elusive,
whatever.
There's an elusive breed.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
I'm shocked that they trained one to that extent.
Yeah. So anyway, good luck to my man El Chahuahua. Nothing but the best for him. He's my favorite jihadi at this point. Of all the jihadis out there, I'm declaring Abu Akbar Al Chahuahua my favorite.
Ali G used to be my favorite, but I agree with you. The Chihuahua.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, check out the spooktacular savings at Zot Ford and Holly, Mike.
Yeah.
For the month of Rocktober, you can lease a brand new 2016 Ford Escape SE for only $188 a month with only $188 due at signing. This haunting deal will be gone.
Did you write that?
I did. I'm just reading it. Will be gone before.
Oh, I wasn't.
You know it. So hurry down to I-75 and exit 98 to see their zombie-rific friends at Zot Ford and get your ghoulish new Escape for just $188 on a 24-month lease with only $188 out of pocket. Check out their chilling deals and massive inventory at zotford.com. That's SZOTT.
You want to see the new Star Wars trailer?
Yeah, dude, I do.
Yeah, this is the final one. They've had a couple little trailers,
like
and
the big one.
This is supposed to be the big one. It aired during Monday Night Football, and it's 2 minutes long. Should we check it out?
Yes.
Make it full screeny.
Trying. So bitch.
Shut up. You realize if we separated all the green gummies and under the guise of, we don't like green gummies, we'd have like 20 pounds of just green gummies.
Really?
Well, I mean, there's, 4 or 5 flavors. 4 flavors?
There's orange, there's lemon, there's strawberry, pineapple.
Yeah, there's 5.
Yeah.
All right. So we'd have like 15 pounds of green.
It's a lot of green.
There we go.
Who are you?
They're gonna have poops.
I'm no one.
Lucasfilm.
I was raised to do one thing. But I've got nothing to fight for.
Nothing will stand in our way. I will finish what you started.
Vader's
There were stories about what happened.
It's true. All of it. The dark side. side. The Jedi. They're real.
The Force. It's calling to you. Just let it in.
What do you think? Wow. Well, the big mystery still is, where does Luke fall into all this?
That's Luke's hand, right? The fake hand on R2.
Yeah.
Are you going to see it in 3D? You're not going to see it in 3D.
I don't want to do that. It'll make me barf.
Yeah.
Can't see IMAX 3D. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I just have a question, and I know most people already know this. So this is after all the other videos we've watched, right? This is
correct.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
this is after Return of the Jedi, where Vader is redeemed.
No spoilers.
From 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, balance is brought to the Force, E.
Right. And so now
so presumably after Jedi was like, oh, happily ever after, right? Well, obviously
of
there's
course life is never happily ever after.
that's correct, E. And now we get to find out what happened after. And you see Vader's mask all melted. That's because he was burned in the funeral pyre.
Yep.
On the green moon of Endor.
Are you going to watch the other movies before you go see it, or if you feel like you've got enough?
I got it.
You got this shit.
I got it down.
I got to be honest, I have seen them enough times, but I don't necessarily need to watch the other ones. I think I at least, what was the last one? The very last one before this.
Return of the Jedi.
I do think I would like to watch that one at least, just to get some.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I've seen Return of the Jedi.
Which one's your favorite? Empire?
For sure.
Yeah.
You kidding me?
Yeah.
Is that number 2?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Changed my life, man.
Yeah. Empire was amazing.
It's a weird thing is they always say like sequels, sequels are never. Does that count as a sequel in Star Wars really, when it's not really a sequel? I wonder.
Well, the whole story was Lucas supposedly had written this whole thing, and he knew that he had one shot to make a movie, or thought, if this is my only shot,
What was he coming off of? American Graffiti?
Yeah. He was like, I gotta make one of these that like you can tell from beginning to end if it is to sit by itself on its own and never be told before or after. And so he used that New Hope, the one where we're introduced to Luke Skywalker and all that.
Yeah. Luke Starwalker, wasn't that his name originally?
Star Killer.
Yeah.
So then, it obviously hits huge and he has the money to do more. And that's when Empire came out. I was like, fuck, there's a whole world to this thing. There's way more than what was alluded to in the first one. So that's why it was so exciting to, a 12-year-old or 11, whatever I was.
Right.
Unbelievable.
It does kind of make me want to watch them, actually, now that I'm talking about it. But.
Yeah. Anyway. Well, that's exciting. So we've got another 2 months.
Yep.
I suppose. And we're going to have you wait in line.
Yeah. You can line up.
I want to see it anyway, so.
Yeah. Send you and TCG.
TCG does not like going to movies.
Again, he's going to be dressed as Binks, and you got to talk like that the whole time. Misa, looking forward to new Star Wars.
How pissed those people that are taking it seriously.
Do it, E.
Can you practice your...
Misa need 2 tickets. 2 adults.
Misa.
What is it? Misa?
Misa. He leads
Misa,
everything
2
with
tickets, please.
It's not bad.
Misa, Jar Jar
Misa, I'm
Binks.
very excited.
There you go. Good enough. Work
Do
on
you
it.
think
2 months.
those real I was gonna say Trekkies, but those real Star Wars guys would be pissed at stuff like that,
Dude,
right?
we have to get him a sweet Binks outfit.
Yeah.
I mean, that's our goal. If anybody has
Remember the
access to
Photoshop
a
of him as
sweet-
Binks? It was
Yes.
friggin' sweet.
It works.
Yeah, it totally works.
We've got to find either a costume maker or someone out there that can help us construct a killer Binks costume.
Put him in Binks for a
that-
week.
He can go in. I think we send him as D2 or Binks.
Binks, because he'll get his ass beat. People hate Binks.
I
The
know they do.
hardcores
Right.
hate him.
Right.
Yeah.
And then obviously I'm not gonna be really
And you have to sit there and talk like that the whole time.
Right. They won't
Misa don't want to be punched in face again.
Having said that, they are Star Trek nerds. So I mean
Star Wars, dude.
Star Wars nerds, sorry.
Not the same thing.
No. I don't know. Still
Mike almost said, yeah, they are.
I one thing I've never got. I really said I get that if you don't like one or the other, but I've never gotten why it seems like there's like like amongst some there's like a legit like battle between
There's
Star
a huge
Trek.
battle.
Okay, well I like both, by the way, and I don't understand. And I get if you don't like Star Trek. I'm just saying this idea that
You
you
can only pick one.
You could only like Picard or you can like Star Wars.
You can be a total complete nerd 24/7. You're right, E, you can.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I don't get this. I don't know anything about Star Trek. Like I know Kirk and Spock and Scotty.
Dude, I don't know anything either.
I remember there was one
about 'em.
episode where they had those little furry guys.
See, I didn't watch any of
They
those. I just watched
multiplied.
all the movies and the Next Generation. I will admit that I watched a lot of the Next Generation too. Actually,
Did you didn't watch? Did you say you watched the very
I never
first
watched.
ones?
No,
or
I
you
never
must
watched the
have been too
original
young.
series, but I've watched all the movies like several times.
Yeah,
and I've watched Next Generation. I actually watched Voyager too.
Yeah. Anyway,
It's the single most boring sentence I ever heard.
we got a Virginia man. He's received a arm transplant. Did you know they were doing that?
Speaking of Skywalker, yeah, I saw Skywalker lost
that's
his
true.
forearm, and
Yeah. Seems a little different, but he had his torn off when he fell 40 feet off a stairwell. Yeah. Jeff Swidarski.
Like, you picture it knocking against one of those railings. Ah,
Yeah,
just
I
taking
think
it right off.
That's kind of what happened. He lost his left arm at this accident in Washington, D.C. in June of last year. He was told it may be years before a donor arm became available. He received one just about a year after his was amputated, but it could be years of therapy before it works right.
Can you imagine having someone else's arm and hand?
No, I can't. But yeah, it sounds like a nightmare. He won't have a clue. His goal is to be able to hold his baby. He's got this like 8-month-old kid, and his girlfriend was pregnant at the time. Yeah, you're
Can't
holding
do that
like a
one-handed.
football.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, but you could strip it easy.
see running backs do that every week. Yeah, you can't
I know,
switch
but
arms depending on what sideline you're on.
If I come running up behind him though, and he's got it in one arm, I can come over the top and knock that
baby
out.
right on the ground,
Yeah.
fumble,
All day long.
baby.
Come up from behind and poke through.
Yeah,
like Cam Chancellor did to
Calvin.
Yeah,
You're right.
Easy. Anyway, hopefully no one will do that to him. So he says he won't have a clue that I had to work so hard just to be able to play a little catch with him or teach him a little music. It takes a second for you to lose something like your arm. He's talking about his baby when he says that. It takes a second for you to lose something like your arm, and it takes a lifetime for it to come back. Don't you hate when that happens? That stinks. The accident happened when he and his pregnant fiance Sharon and two of their friends were in the city in Washington D.C. to watch this Jazz in the Park concert. Oof. What a
God,
bummer
you
that
know
is,
he didn't
man.
want to be there
Jesus.
anyway.
Yeah,
then you
I
lose your
hope
arm.
not. Yeah.
Poor guy.
God, you're dragging me to Jazz in the Park. Oh, and I lose my arm. What a shit night. They also stopped to look at a potential wedding venue.
Oh, God, nightmare.
Good Lord, is this the worst day on planet Earth?
God, head over to Home Depot, look at some flooring too.
He says, as he stood at the top of this long winding staircase inside the Hotel Monaco, he leaned back against the railing and fell straight down the stairwell. Somehow I fell nearly 40 feet to what would have been a normal person's death. He managed to grab a banister, but the force was so strong, it ripped his arm right off.
Yeah.
Oh, that would hurt. God damn it, that would hurt.
So does this cut against my thought process for the guy at Yankees or in Atlanta who fell from the upper deck who should have grabbed the cable, in my opinion? IMO.
Probably would have taken his arm off, clean off. You know.
This suggests that. I still think he should have tried.
Yeah, I agree that he should have tried. I lost my arm, but at the same time, it saved my life. So yes, the guy in Atlanta, it slowed him down enough to save his life. So the guy in Atlanta, maybe he loses a hand or an arm, but
don't lose your life. Yeah.
He wasn't thinking big picture when he was falling, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
Selfishly trying to save all of his body.
Doctors tried in vain. That's kind
of a shot.
Yeah, tried in vain. Yeah, I see what you're saying there. To reattach his severed limb, but it was too damaged. He was a musician, played the piano,
of course,
trumpet, guitar, drums, all instruments.
Oh.
Well, maybe the trumpet. You could still rock the trumpet, right? You don't need two hands for a trumpet.
Yeah, but if it's your offhand, if it's off your offhand, trying to learn the trumpet on your left.
And there's no way that was his favorite out of the ones you listed there.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. That was, Andy plays the trumpet.
Right.
You're in there.
Drums, guitar, piano, and then trumpet was just there.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's a bummer. What could you still do? I guess you could do the Def Leppard with the drums. It costs a lot of money.
Yeah.
But guitar, yeah, that's not looking good.
Is that his profession, or was he just
he says he was a musician. A lot of people claim to be musicians.
Oh yeah, dude.
McCard.
Yeah, McCard. Yeah, I know 4 chords. I'm a musician.
Chicks love it when I play guitar.
Those were the worst days of my life. I remember when it died. It was horrible. I knew it was gone. Dr. Jamie Shores is the plastic surgeon who accepted him into this elite program to give him a new arm. He warned that it could take years to find a donor that was similar enough in size, age, and skin tone to attempt the operation.
I'd be like, you know what? I'll just take
Whatever.
size. Just don't worry about the skin tone.
Yeah, skin tone will be the least of my worries.
Just want one that works.
Yeah, I even think size, I could make it work.
Have a little fidget arm.
A little fidget arm or something. It's better than nothing.
We know how those fidget arms go.
Yeah, you'd have to hide it in pictures and stuff.
One of my favorite emails ever.
Yeah. So yeah, size, age, and skin tone. I mean, okay. So you're in the hospital and they're like, Jay, we've got this guy. It's the perfect match skin tone wise.
He's 98.
He's 98.
Little decrepit looking arm.
You think you've got a liver spot on your cheek. Wait till you see your new hand.
Huh.
Jesus Christ.
Liver spots everywhere.
What do you think? Are you still in for one arm with just those long gray hairs?
Oh, and the big veins sticking out.
Those giant veins.
Those big haggled fingers.
Your yellowed fingernails.
Damn it. Yeah, you're right. They look like they're all crushed. Yeah. Everybody's grandpa has those like crushed ass fingernails.
Yeah.
That all happens, man.
I don't know. Yeah, that would suck. But would you rather have that than nothing?
I'm picturing
Would Gab hold your
I'm
hand?
picturing Paul's hands right now. Paul's got the most messed up hands from playing baseball.
You're kidding.
I swear to God.
You're kidding.
Dude, my boys are always freaked out by it. They're like, "Oh my God, Grandpa's hands!"
Really?
Yeah, I'm picturing one of Grandpa's hands on me. Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, you've got nice hands.
thank
I'll give you
you.
that. You've
Thanks
got
a lot.
beautiful
Yeah.
hands. You really do.
Appreciate that.
Yeah. I wouldn't want to see you with Paul's hand attached. I got to be honest.
Yeah, those big crazy finger. Yeah, I don't know.
And you're in pretty good shape.
That
so-
Armenian skin.
Beggars can't be choosers, guys. Come
I
on
agree,
now.
but if you're working out and you got like, I mean, it'd just be a pain in the ass because this arm would suck at lifting weights because this guy hasn't done shit
And
for
it's just
years.
93-year-old muscle tone, so you're never gonna build it up, right?
Yeah, it's a waste. So now he's got years of rehab ahead of him as the nerves from his shoulder to his fingertips regenerate at an incredibly slow pace before he can go back to playing any instruments. For all he knows, his donor arm is that the donor arm came from this 38-year-old dude in Philadelphia who was left brain dead after a drug overdose. So he's brain dead, but he's not dead. You just took his arm?
He's still laying there.
He's just laying there, and they're pulling.
Attached to a machine.
They're pulling parts off
His
him.
family's just like, yeah. What do we get for a leg?
Yeah,
You're not going to be needing this anymore.
Yeah, like shit. This is costing us a lot to keep him alive. Start selling off his shit.
It's a good point. Less body, less cost.
I mean, you realize though, as the world turns,
you've got more shot. You got more chance of coming too.
Well, yeah, like as we advance with stuff, like one day there's not a cure for polio. And then there has to be that point where the next day there's a cure for polio, right?
So if you can just hang in there one more day.
Yeah, like Salt comes along, and then boom.
So this goes against what you've been preaching for the last 2 years, Mike. That you, as soon as you get a splinter,
I want out.
You want out.
Yeah, I want out for sure. But
you
I'm
don't
just
hang
saying,
on until there's a cure for that splinter.
Right? But that's me. But I don't know about
They
this
invented
guy.
the tweezer.
What if they come up with a cure overnight? Like could be tomorrow.
Brain deadedness.
For brain deadedness. And you're laying in the hospital. It's like they give you a little shot of penicillin for brain deadedness, anti-brain deadedness. And all of a sudden you're like, you come back and you're like, wow, I feel great. And you go to stretch and you're like, wait a minute.
Stretching stumps.
Yeah. And there's nothing there. And your family's like, dude, I wish they would have given us a heads up that there was a cure for brain deadedness around the corner.
Right.
Because we gave away all your limbs. Like
just a head and a torso.
Yeah, you're hanging in the closet from now on. That seems like that. I mean, fine. He goes down and he's dead. You want to start taking arms and fingers and
I'm going
shit.
to venture to say the story meant that he was dead.
It said brain dead. It didn't say dead.
Okay.
So anyways, he is connected with the arm. He calls it Rocky. And he believes the man it came
Why
from.
does he need to call it anything? Why does it?
Because it's Rocky. He thinks it came from a guitar player. He said because it's got calluses.
I was going to say it's got calluses on the fingers.
I'm like, well, maybe he was a feverish masturbator.
I was going to say that too.
Straight out of Stockton. So essentially, I believe he was a guitar player. Well, his family's still alive. Why don't you ask him?
Good point.
You know, we know he was a junkie, apparently. You got that going for you, I guess. Son of a bitch.
Doesn't it seem, I don't know.
What?
Going to get nerdy and say something about attaching a fake like Luke Skywalker arm might be easier, but what do I know?
One of the, you want a metal
like
one?
Ultra complicated to put like another human being's arm onto my stuff.
Oh, they're putting heads on other people's, right? As we know.
No, they're not.
With super glue.
They're doing
That's
that
right. It has
this
to be
year.
a really fast cut, though, right?
With a sharp blade.
A very sharp blade, fast cut.
That's the key.
Of course, E is hearkening back to a head transplant story we did about a year ago.
Yeah, and that's coming up, by the way. I think that's spring 2016. Nice. I mean, that head transplant is going forward.
So we've got the pigman and the head transplant coming up.
Yeah.
Nice.
I think you might be able to look that up.
The Astronome
The
file.
head transplant, I think, has been scheduled. It's on the
Astronome
books.
file. Working our way through that Astronome file.
Yeah. See if you can find anything on it, E. And then we'll get to texting while driving. You really laid into E, I don't know, a year ago.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
About it. What was E saying at the time?
He was just,
I don't care.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck. And I was like, dude, you could totally kill people. I don't fucking care.
Yeah.
He actually said that.
That's not exactly what I said.
I'd love to rewind.
It was more like I've had conversations jokingly saying, well, I'm probably gonna get, it's not really when I'll get in an accident, but but when. And I just like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, there's one way to prevent this. What could we do? What could we possibly do?
I don't care. I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm just as bad a driver normally. So
no, that is stupid, man. I had a guy like zooming up on my ass today. I'm looking in my rearview mirror, like, you gonna look up, dude? You gonna look up? Come on, look up. Yeah. As he's just sure it was really important. Slams on
didn't
his
you
brakes.
get blasted from behind not long ago from
Yes.
someone that did that?
Yes.
Was he texting?
Yep.
He was. Wow. Yeah, that's a scary thing when you see someone come. Did you think about getting out of the lane and
I did
making a
think
move
about it.
for it? Yeah. Well, we got a teen driver who was asked to stop texting. She ended up killing another driver and that guy's daughter. And when she ran a red light, Carly Bolig, 17 years old from Little Falls, Minnesota, was charged last week with 2 counts of vehicular homicide, texting while driving, and driving without a valid license. This happened back in July 21st to be exact. Crash between 54-year-old Charles Maurer and his daughter Casey were killed in their van. When their
Real
van
people, real people.
just
with
T-boned,
families.
man. Yeah, by a pickup around 8 p.m. Casey's 16-year-old sister and her friend were also injured in the crash. The 4 teens who were in the pickup were this chick Bolig and her boyfriend Devin and friends Casey Joronsky and George Saldana all suffered injuries too. Joronsky, I think, is the one that is really key to this, putting this together, this case. She told investigators that she had told Bolig to stop texting while driving on at least 8 or 9 occasions while they were driving, but she refused to comply and told her friend she didn't care if she crashed and told her friend to fuck off. I don't care if I crash. Fuck you. Fuck you, Jay. Fuck you, Bolig.
I think he should be ashamed of himself. I think he should go into the background.
It's a she.
Yeah. Someone in the car yells, "Red light, red light." And at that point, she never hit the brakes. Boom! It just T-bones this truck. The pickup, it was hit. She hit T-boned this van on the driver's side right into him. An investigation revealed that she had sent multiple emails on Facebook through her phone in the minutes leading up to the crash.
Oh,
Emails.
Facebook. The fucking book.
Yeah, I know. Probably talking to 14 friends, 14 people total, of which 3 of them were in the car with her.
OMG.
Charles died at the hospital on the night of the crash. Casey, who would have entered 5th grade this fall, suffered severe head injuries, died 10 days later. Yeah. When Bolig was questioned, she acted upon her mom's advice to not answer questions. 10 days after the crash, Joronsky told a trooper that Bolig and Saldana plotted to say that Garlock was the driver because he was the only one with a valid driver's license.
Jeez,
and they're
losers.
Yeah, as if some kids are going to get this past investigators.
Right.
Give me a break. They're matching blood and hair in the car to tell exactly who was sitting where. So
And
that,
some
that
dumb
wasn't going
fucker
anywhere.
is willing to do it. Yeah, go ahead. Say it was me driving.
Yeah, idiot. On the same day, a DNA from was compared to blood, and so they
Does
knew
it say why
exactly
she
what
doesn't
happened.
have a license, or is it just that she wasn't old enough? Or
She was 17. I don't know.
Oh.
I don't know what
Just
she
a
did.
fuck up.
Yeah.
So change your mind at all and do anything different?
I don't know, dude. I'm not.
Keep texting while you're driving?
I don't do it that often. Anyway, I've cut it back. I said I've cut back.
How about you not do it?
The one time we need you to not gonna. We need you to take a knee on texting. E. He's not gonna.
I'm just too stubborn to say it. I think I'm
You're
too
so
stubborn.
stupid, man. You're so like, oh, I'm not going to drink and drive. I won't do that. Why do
I
that?
think it's worse. I really do. I've said it before. I think it's worse.
Yeah.
Because I know when I've texted and driven that, like, I'll go across the middle lane. Like, I've been there where it's like, holy shit.
Speaking
Wow.
of that, dude, I almost fell asleep coming home from Cleveland. Like Russell was sitting next to me snoring. And it was like that.
It was like Clark Griswold moment.
It was that early afternoon deal.
Russ? Yeah.
Early afternoon, just trying to keep like going, oh, I need a coffee. And I just started zoning and I knew I was losing it. And I still like couldn't even, I'm just like, I'm falling asleep right now. And I'm trying to shake it. And I look and I'm halfway in the other lane, like, windows
that's a
down.
horrifying feeling.
It was awful.
Why were you so tired just from life?
I was up the prior night because my freaking face hurts.
Oh, that's
So
awful.
I barely slept, but
Yeah, that's
don't change the subject. E?
You changed the subject. I didn't
Okay, I'm
change it.
done. Back to the subject matter at hand. Are you done texting and driving?
I'll just
No,
say
he's not.
No, or yes. Sorry, just say.
God, you're a
I meant to
stupid
say
fuck.
yes. I meant
Did
to
you
say
text
yes.
while driving today when I asked you a question?
No, I wasn't. I wasn't in my car yet.
Okay.
I said I was on my way, but I was actually in a
So
private.
you lied to me.
Yes.
So your word is no good.
We know his
I'm
word
on my
is
way
no
over
good.
right now. I asked him to pull a song, and he's
Well,
like,
I
"No,
wasn't.
I'm driving right now."
Well,
and you weren't. You were lying.
Where should we begin?
Yeah, Joe, I'll put a penis tattoo on my body if you beat me.
Yeah. Good
Hey,
point.
you know what?
Yeah, I'll run that marathon fuck and put a yeah. hand up my ass if I don't win.
Where to stop, E?
Yep, I'll quit texting and driving so I don't kill people.
You know what we forgot to do yesterday, Mike? We
What's
forgot to mention the Amazon link.
Please do.
Hey, everybody, please use our Amazon link. You'll find it on our website, DetroitCast.com. It's the perfect way to support our show. You shop Amazon by entering through our link, and Amazon simply pays the Detroit Cast based on purchases made. You don't pay higher prices, and the show gets a small donation with every item you buy. So please click on our Amazon link and help support the show.
We got a German kid, and he's 11, and he unfortunately suffered some horrific injuries to his legs after being pushed in front of a train by his own mom. Yeah.
Monster.
31-year-old mother described as psychologically disturbed. Yeah. Reportedly pushed him onto the tracks as the train came to the station in Hamburg. Despite the driver slamming on the emergency brake, the kid ended up underneath the train. They were forced to manually push the train back in order to get the 11-year-old free.
How was he still? I'm shocked he'd even be able to make it.
Yeah, how are you not all just cut in half at that point?
Yeah, well, it sounds like he was. His legs are mangled. What I want to know is if you and mom are walking and she's like, she lets you get a couple feet ahead and you push, how do you, like, you would think it'd run over your face or your shoulders. I mean, unless she really gave him a shove and sent him flying all the way across the tracks, you would think, I mean, I don't know, unless she did a leg sweep and sent him leg first.
Well, maybe it's one of those raised platforms. He fell down inside there. Like sort of like how you see a subway come in and it.
I don't think it was. I think it was a normal, it looked level.
He should have got out of the way of the train then.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, you have
that. I mean, that would be the ideal move if you could do it.
Yeah, he should have got off that track.
Yeah,
steer, just away from the track as far as he could.
So you're thinking some personal responsibility needed to be taken?
Well, it depends on how. We don't know where the train was, how close it was, I guess. But I guess close enough that he tried to put on the brakes, so not that. It wasn't like it was.
Dude,
right
it had to be far enough away. You don't put on brakes like 10 feet away from a kid. You just slam him.
Right.
He had to have fallen down off a raised thing, and he's down there.
There's pictures
the
of it.
engineer probably saw him and tried to brake quick.
Yeah.
Let's see the images.
Yeah, I mean, they're not too gruesome. You want to pull them up? God, it reminds me of that train video. Were you listening to Drew and Mike when we used to? There was like a Too Hot for TV or something. They were like, this is back when videos would come out, and it was
probably not.
Yeah, you might have been in law school at the time, but it was like they would come out with Girls Gone Wild videos. This is pre-DVD even. And there was one where it was like most shocking moments, and it was the train video.
It's not Faces of Death.
No, not Faces of Death. No, it's post Faces of Death. But it was some lady, and she's getting ready to cross the train thing. She's not looking, and then the other people around her notice there's a train like barreling down, and they all stop, and she takes another step, and boom! And we found out way later that the guy that stopped, that just kind of let go of her hand and was just like, train. Yeah. And, you would think a hero would go like, grab her and pull her back, but it was just like, And that guy was her lawyer, her divorce lawyer, and they were going somewhere to finish up a divorce. And I just couldn't help but think, but like, what is that husband thinking now? Like, they're working on the paperwork, and this chick just got plowed by a train. I mean, great news, really.
Yeah.
You don't remember that, E? Do you remember that?
No.
And it was so gruesome. We were like, turn it off. I think this is like Rob Schaefer was still with us then. And it was just like nobody wanted to see it. We kept trying to sneak it into things like, oh, you got to see this play from the Lions game last night. Boom! It was like, fuck! Oh, I didn't want to see her get smashed by a train.
God.
Oh, dude, you got to check. Look at this hot chick in the magazine. Boom! Oh, God. Yeah, it was terrible.
So, I mean.
Yeah, see, it's not down in the subway thing.
It is. It's a raised platform. That's a raised platform, dude.
Oh, when I think subway, I think down. Like you could fall into a hole.
Well, he fell down in there. You can see how that.
No, what are you talking about? That's a level playing field,
dude. It's waist high.
No,
look at the first responder.
Yeah,
he's standing next to the platform, which is at his high thigh or buttock.
But it's not like one of those underground subway ones where.
Understood. But my point is, you get pushed off that thing, and he's trying to get back up. Maybe.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Oof. What a shit mom.
The mom was trying to kill him, right? That's got to be it.
Or render his legs useless.
No, trying to give him a haircut, dude. She was crazy, trying to kill him.
What's going on with moms these days? Are all moms crazy all of a sudden? We're getting too many of these stories where it's like, oh yeah, some kid winds up in a freezer, dead for a year, and the mom did it. You're like, what?
Yeah.
When did mom start going crazy?
You're right, man. Come to think of it. I never thought of it that way.
I would expect that from dads.
Totally.
I would expect that from
white guys.
White guys. Total white guy crime. We're seeing black women do it.
God,
We're seeing
I hate white
women do
people, by the way.
Yeah, I know. I'm not a big fan either. They've got an open investigation with the murder commission for attempted murder.
What do?
Yeah, for this dude. I mean, for the mom. He's 31. Not good, man. And then before we get to some email, I got a video here I got to show you guys of this dude on a motorcycle. And he's trying to pass on a double yellow line. And some guy takes exception to this.
What dude do?
Well, I'll show you what he did. Here, I'll just play you the video. He's Eric Sanders and his girlfriend Deborah Simpson are the one on this motorcycle.
Okay. Out in the country somewhere. Oh shit. Oh no.
Yeah.
The guy didn't want to be passed, so he
just decided
holy shit.
Come over and clip the motorcycle. There's another motorcycle behind him. He's wearing a GoPro on his helmet, so he's captured the whole thing on video.
Wow. Holy cow. So 2 people on the motorcycle.
Yeah.
What the he doing?
Did he pull over up there?
I got it on
Yeah.
video. I got it on video.
There's his bike over on the other side of the road, 50 yards away, 50 feet away.
Yeah, total just 2-lane highway. Motorcycle's going to pass the car. Car swerves over and clips him. Like,
Yeah.
you're not going to pass me.
Yeah.
Don't you love those cars when you try to pass them?
Oh,
and they're like
infuriating.
Fucking ass.
Listen to this dickhead.
What were you doing? You hit them. I don't care. I got it on video too. I don't care. Double one, yellow stripe. No. You swerved and hit them. I don't care. Yeah, we got it on tape. You will care.
No, I won't. Double yellow line.
I don't care. All right, here we go again. All right, they pass one car. They're coming up to this guy. Dude! Wow.
Isn't that brutal?
What are they going, 75?
65.
Shit.
Wow. Yeah.
I can't believe they're okay. I mean, the one guy was laying on his back, looked pretty hurt. But
The chick, yeah, she had to be airlifted to an intensive care unit following the crash and suffered a broken wrist. The road rash took her arm down to the bone and tendon from her elbow to her wrist. She'll undergo multiple surgeries as doctors attempt to repair her arm. Fellow motorcyclist Brian Fisher is the one who filmed the video. Sanders wrote later on in a Facebook post that he attempted to pass the man over double yellow lines because the driver was going 40 miles an hour in a 65 mile an hour zone. On impact, I was only going 60 or 65 miles an hour. I was not speeding. I did not get a ticket for passing in a no passing lane. The man was not arrested by police at the scene, but officers have since seen the video and they are looking to prosecute him.
I think he should be ashamed of himself. I think he should go into the background.
dude,
Isn't that brutal?
Yes. I don't care.
I don't care.
You have that reaction.
Double yellow line.
Fucking retard.
It's insane.
Hey, do you want to sell your home, but it looks like someone threw a Jelski? Don't let that stop you. As a gift to TDC listeners, Krista Jelski of Remax Suburban will pay to have your entire home cleaned before it hits the market. Check out Krista's website at KristaSellsHouses.com or call her anytime at 586-918-0900. That's 586, E. Not 587. 586.
Did you catch that?
Yeah, I caught it.
It's a 3, you son of a bitch.
It's a 3. We're in Detroit. 313.
That is bullshit. That looks like a 7.
I saved it with that final little tiny loop, didn't I?
Yeah, you certainly did.
It was on its way to a 7. And then I did that little loop.
There's
that
some
little wee loop at the bottom.
Deformed little nutsack loop that
There
saves
is.
it.
It saves
made
it.
it a 3.
Absolutely makes it a 3.
We need to post a picture of
We
just
do.
that.
Yeah.
And we will, E, and we'll see if the public sides with you.
They won't.
Jay will give you a public apology. We'll see. We'll put it in their hands and we'll let them see if they think it's a 313.
Saved it.
I think it did. I had a story yesterday about this kid from Houston, white kid, and he was playing the knockout game.
Oh, I remember that.
It's
Yeah.
still going. I was kind of assuming that was done by now, but I guess
Well,
it's still going.
this happened. He's been sentenced to 6 years in jail. He pled guilty to a federal hate crime for the sucker punching of an elderly black man. Dude, these stories are infuriating. This knockout game, we haven't seen it as much lately. A couple years ago, when this happened a couple of years ago. He's
There's
just getting
little
sentenced
that's
now.
more infuriating than that.
Yeah.
Honestly. Just totally innocent people walking along.
Yeah.
Just getting plugged.
Minding their own business, doing their own thing. And then, yeah. Conrad Alvin Barrett admitted that the attack on the 81-year-old victim back in 2013, November of 2013, was racially motivated. He used his cell phone to record the attack and his racial epithets. Barrett approached the senior asking him, "Hey, how's it going, man?" And then quickly punched him with a fist, knocking him to the concrete with a single punch. What a total asshole. And then he laughs, calling out, "Knockout!" and ran to his car. 6 years doesn't seem like enough to me.
81-year-old dude.
Yeah.
It's brutal.
District Judge Gray Miller sentenced Barrett on Friday to 71 months in prison, followed by 3 years of supervised release. Federal prosecutors had charged him under the Matthew Shepard and James Byrd hate crime. Yeah. Matthew was gay. Was Byrd gay as well?
I don't know, Byrd. Not sure. Yeah, the Matthew guy was the kid who was sort of hung from the fence.
In Texas, was that? Yeah, that was a while. That was in the 80s, wasn't it? Or 90s?
Let's beat him up because he's gay.
Yeah, that was a brutal story. He was a young guy, too.
Yeah, super young.
The defendant committed this shocking and violent assault against this vulnerable elderly man because he was African-American. A lawyer for Barrett attributed the attack to his grandiose ideations and alcohol abuse. Barrett stated that he had been working up the courage for a week to play the knockout game. The victim was hospitalized for several days for treatment of 2 jaw fractures. Doctors had to insert a pair of metal plates into his jaw, leaving him unable to drink without a straw. He lost 3 teeth. According to his attorney, he suffers from bipolar disorder and is very sorry for the victim.
I need an attorney, and I need one
He
now.
does. At the time of the attack, there had been similar incidents throughout New York and other states in which young black men targeted white passersby, running up to them from behind and knocking them off their feet. On the video he had recorded on his cell phone, he can be heard saying, "The plan is to see if I were to hit a black person, would this be nationally televised?" In other videos seized by the police, Barrett used the N-word and said that African Americans haven't fully experienced the blessing of evolution.
I like to help minorities.
Doesn't sound like this kid believes in that.
It was only by chance that he was caught, too. This dipshit goes into a restaurant and he strikes up a conversation with a guy and his girlfriend who are sitting in this diner. And he's like, "Yeah, you guys ever hear the knockout game?" And they're like, "No, what's that?" He's like, "Yeah, check it out. Happened earlier today." And shows him the video and is playing him the video of the knockout game.
Yeah.
He's talking to an undercover cop, just totally by random. He's an off-duty cop, I think, was the deal. And he immediately flagged down a uniformed cop, and they were able to bust this guy. Otherwise, this guy totally would have skated on this. If he didn't randomly in a diner, shoot off his big mouth.
Got to brag about it. It's so awesome.
Yeah. What a total piece of shit, man. That's.
I think he should be ashamed of himself. I think he should go into the background.
I agree. He's going to go into the background in jail for a while.
Taking it in the background.
That's what I think the
I don't know why.
What did you say?
Take it in the background. It's so dumb, but I don't know why it made me laugh.
I think it was worth it. I don't know.
Dude, that's a play on words. It's not your strong suit.
I know, but for some reason it just hit me and I felt like saying
He was reaching for something. He's been quiet today, so he was thinking, well, how can I get involved?
No, it was more just I know it was stupid, but it's still whatever.
Look at this son of a bitch sitting here in his rainbow running shoes, his Pistons pants, of course. We have Simpsons fleece underneath.
Michigan still.
Michigan fleece underneath. We've got the
3.
Lakeland 2001 cross country, and then we've got the new Branson, Missouri maroon trucker hat. Looking goody. And then he has two things on his wrist. What are those?
These are from the dealership. Everyone else is done wearing them already, but
Pink and orange
when
bracelets.
I get things like this, I take it. These are supposed to. We had a big meeting about team whatever, and these were supposed to symbolize things I'm working on at the job. So
What are they?
One is a team
Not being
spirit,
a fuckhead.
because I made fun of somebody at work, so someone gave me a team spirit one. And one that I chose was encouraging constant improvement, but I only encourage it amongst other people and not amongst myself. I'm constantly telling other people they should do better, but I'm thinking I'm okay.
Okay.
I heard you're one of the best moppers there.
One of the top 5 for
really,
sure.
for sure.
It's got to be.
Top
There's
5?
only like 5 people.
Do you
There's
get
actually
all
only
the-
3 people to mop. So
Do you get the nooks and the crannies?
actually, I think I'm pretty good at mopping.
Yeah, you got a lot of practice.
I think we have a few. I think there's another kid. I hate this. There's another kid right now that I actually don't think does as good of a job, but I don't care enough to tell him it. But I care enough that when he's doing it, I'm thinking, I do a better job than this.
You bop better?
I do.
Yeah.
Why don't you help him out? I think that's what your bracelet is for. It's
I
to
know.
remind you that you should help him out, be a team player.
You're right.
He sees the young talent coming up. He sees the writing on the wall. He's not going to help anybody out. He's not a team guy.
That's another good point. I don't want somebody coming up through the ranks.
Yeah, you don't want to groom some
some guy-
5-star recruit, some mopping recruit to come stud mopper to come take your
kid making
gig.
12 cents less than I'm going to take him over.
Yeah.
Who's going to be my replacement down the line?
Yeah.
If
Fuck
anything,
that.
just tell him he's doing a good enough job. Keep him down below.
So let's be honest, that's a job usually, handled by 16-year-olds. So to have someone in their early to late, or, mid to late 30s in there,
It's remarkable.
doing it. You're doing a bang up job now, but how much longer can it last? Let's be honest. I mean, the body's going to start breaking down soon.
It's tough on the joints. So
I don't like him, his giant head, or his beady little eyes.
it is. So you're right. I gotta keep it. Gotta keep him at his bay.
Going
Keep him
back
at
to
his
that.
bay. Well put. Ethan.
Yeah, that was good.
That was a little planned words too.
Going back to that story real quick, I'm glad that's where I think the federal hate crime laws should be applied. I'm seeing this trend lately. I've been reading stories, every time a transgender person of color is murdered, which happens quite a bit, there's always a calling for these federal hate crime things.
When
and
in case it's simply a case of tomfoolery gone awry.
it could be, or there was one where it was like all indications were that they were friends, and then something happened, and this so and so got
the guy
murdered.
found out he had a dick.
That could be, or God knows what it is. But if you've established that they're friends, wouldn't you think that if they knew about it, you'd be cool with the
Assuming they know
tranny
about
thing?
it. Yeah, what? Just because he's a tranny, you're going to put a hate crime on it?
Right. Where to me, it's like if you got some asswipe that doesn't know you, you're walking down the street and it's like, you fucking tranny piece of shit, and they beat you down and kill you. Like, by all means, all day long, throw federal hate crime charges on top of it. But I don't know. I've just noticed that popping up lately in stories that I've read where it's like, wait a minute, why would you? Just because someone was murdered doesn't mean it was a federal hate crime.
Right.
I don't know. Capital crime.
We do have some email.
We do. You want to get to your Goomy Bears, don't you? Got a pile of them sitting there.
Mark writes in, well, I heard Al's rebuttal on my uncle's bike DUI. So he's referring to Al, the lawman who wrote in yesterday, knowledgeable about Canadian law.
Yeah.
Who said Mark was embellishing because you're not going to be arrested for just riding a simple bike down the road. So Mark says, I guess I was wrong. So I talked to my dad about it. I guess said uncle was on an e-bike, not a normal bike. He's a bit of an oddball, really frugal. Dad tells me he's been using the e-bike for a few years to save gas. So I stand corrected, albeit while sitting. Sorry. From Mark.
Nice. Takes a real man to admit.
I agree. Jim writes in, yesterday, I think we were referencing symbols, the handicap symbol, and you were saying it's one of the most recognizable on the planet.
Yep.
It's the swastika you mentioned.
Absolutely. Great sign.
The swastika.
Mm-hmm.
King, cult, and not gonna. The swastika symbol was from an ancient religion in the Iran area, and it meant good luck. The 45th Infantry Division of the United States Army used a yellow swastika on a red background. It's also on the Federal Reserve Board building in Washington, D.C., plus many other government buildings around the U.S. Then Hitler hijacked it like he did a mustache.
Really?
He hijacked the chaplain.
Wow.
Think about it.
It's a ballsy move, man.
Yeah. Good day. I said good day. Dave writes in with an ASCII. I, for one, think this is a pretty simple ASCII, but listen up. Dear Eric, as you know, the new Star Wars film is coming out December 18th. Much like Jay, I've been looking forward to this for some time, but unlike Jay, I plan on going on opening night. While I do not plan on dressing up in costume, not like Binks, I guess.
Misa, not going as Binks.
We were going to make this a big event with lots of friends in attendance. Last week, however, my wife, who has had some medical concerns in the past, tells me that she scheduled surgery for December 18th.
Oof.
Now her
Selfish.
surgery...
Very selfish.
It's episode 7, lady.
Yeah, dude. Come on.
It's episode 7. December 18th. Now her surgery is outpatient and will be in the morning, but she will be on bed rest for several days. She tells me I can go to the Star Wars opening, but I have mixed feelings. Should I leave my wife at home bedridden with 2 young children and go see the movie as planned, or should I stay home to care for her?
You want to take this one, E, or you want me to?
Dude, you're gonna miss the premiere of the movie. You'll be back in 3 hours.
Yeah. So you say
2 young children?
We don't know. I guess I don't know how young the children are.
Does it matter? Do you care how young?
I
they
don't
are?
give a shit.
Yeah.
But I mean, no, I don't know. You don't want to be reading all the tweets and the Facebooks about what the movie's about. You're gonna have to go into a bubble. You're gonna have to go into a bubble for a few days. Everyone's gonna be talking about it.
We need to know more about this surgery. I mean, is it something
Yeah.
can be pushed to 2016?
Dude,
Right.
I agree with you. How debilitating is this?
Yeah.
Bed rest, sure. She's supposed to lay down. Can she get up if she has to?
Yeah. Are we talking collagen injections?
Yeah, or
or
are we talking like, hysterectomy?
Point, how,
Yeah.
I wonder
Are,
how,
are we like grabbing her uterus and pulling it out?
Yeah.
Or
And if so, what's the rush?
and at this point, you're married and you have young kids. How much more things in life are you gonna get joy out of the rest of the way
picture
through?
removing a uterus, by
No-
the way.
no thanks.
Just pulling that. Is it like blowing an egg? You know?
What do
You ever
mean
blown an egg?
No.
You've never blown an egg?
No, I've never blown anyone.
It's an egg, a white egg. Have
Yeah.
you ever blown an eggy?
I don't know.
Where you just pop a little hole in it on each side and then you blow the contents out of the hole
No, I've never done that.
No.
and you end up with just an eggshell.
Oh wow.
yeah,
That's
you
kinda
can
cool.
you can blow it out of like a pinhole, man.
I never-
Really?
Yeah.
How long does it take?
Depends on how take Eve, I don't know, a minute.
Yeah.
Took me like a half hour.
Wow, you did that. When did you do
I
this?
don't know, when I was a little kid.
Yeah.
I didn't know you could do it. No.
So is that what it's
I
like?
have
with
eggs
a
upstairs. Can we
hysterectomy?
try it?
You're just like pulling it out of there, just sopping out of there.
Ugh.
Just a little crook, like a shepherd's crook in there.
Oh no.
Just
need to
get a
know-
hold of it.
You are right though. You need to know more about the surgery and what the surgery is. to me.
Here comes the uterus. Hold still. Very good.
Right?
Right.
Just slop out of there like a, I don't know what.
Yeah.
Afterbirth.
Like pumpkin guts.
Having said that, just go to the movie. Man up and go to
Yeah.
Dude, I think that's an easy one.
Yeah.
She said you could go. It'd be the harder one would be if she was like, you're not going to this. I just had surgery.
Right.
Yeah.
But she's okay. It's just bed rest. She'll be fine. That's the harder ask.
Dude, this
Yeah.
is one thing, and luckily I'll probably never have to deal with being in a relationship, but this is the one thing I don't know how you people do it in relationships and serious relationships where this game of like she says you can go.
Let me
and I know
tell you.
I know you've already I already know
Let me
yours,
tell you
but
how
I'm
you
just-
deal with it. You don't play games.
Right,
Yeah.
I get it. But I'm
Okay.
saying the people that do, the people that allow it to happen, like this idea of like well, no, you can go, and then they're just she said I could, but I know that I'm gonna be stewing about it anyway. Fuck, I could never deal with that. I would, no way. If she asked me, hey, could you not go? Could you maybe wait a few
Right.
days? Then I probably do. But this idea, someone telling me you can go, but really that she's stewing over it.
Resenting it every
Yeah.
minute.
That's a bummer. You need to marry a tard like you who just blurts whatever.
Yeah.
It's like the low rent version of what you and Gab would do, which is just like voice your opinion,
Yeah. Talk
state
about
what
it.
you really mean, and think.
Yeah,
but
they would just
it
be
is like,
Don't go. I don't want you to go.
Fuck you, I'm going anyways. Fine, I don't care. Good. I don't care if you don't care or do care. I'm going. Hope your vagine falls out. I'm done with it anyways.
I want to see Han Solo and Jar Jar Binks.
He's not going to be in this movie.
who? Binks?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Go
Ray-
to the movie though.
Good answer. Ray writes in, God damn it. When is Jin going to release the Detroit Cast phone app?
Yeah, he's been working on it still.
That's a great question, right?
It is a great question. You want to get
Like he's busy with this little kid and this job he has. Ooh, I got this big computer
Yeah.
job. I live in San Francisco. Real important. I do computer shit. I'm a nerd.
Yeah, I know. I was ragging on my
I
sister. I
don't
was
feel
like,
like Chinese tonight anyway.
I was like, what's going on with the app? And she's like, I know. He's been working on it. There were a couple glitches that popped up, and he wants to make sure it's right before he sends it back to you guys. So it's costing us nothing. So there's very little that we can say. But I know my sister's using it. She's been using it for months. She loves it. It's apparently a great app.
God.
I know.
Jin,
It's
we
coming.
appreciate your work.
Yeah.
Understand. Amy writes in, podcast heroes, Biggie and fellow pothead. I have to say your discussion on periods and tampons always makes me laugh out loud. And at the risk of totally grossing you out.
no, please, no.
please.
Don't
Oh,
have it.
Jesus.
I will now forever think of you every time I go get a tampon.
Oh, that's fine.
She'll be thinking of us.
Nice.
She's inserting a piece of cotton with a string hanging out of her vagina.
Nice. That's awesome.
I'm honored.
I am too. You know she's going to too.
Yeah, I'm totally honored.
She couldn't lie.
Is she going to every time she does it, or just the next time she
I
does
will
it?
now forever think of you every time I go to get a tampon.
Wow. Don't they get like 50 a day?
I think so. I think that's what we resolved.
Yeah. Going through them like crazy.
She'll be thinking about us a lot.
Yeah.
As she's inserting things into her vagina. However, your discussion yesterday regarding not flushing them totally made me question my upbringing. I've always flushed them. So remember, you were like, how? So we've got the hoarder, and the last straw from the emailer was like, look, this dude married my cousin or whatever. My cousin divorced him when she found out that this dude was collecting their daughter's used tampons.
Tampons, yeah.
Sorry, I misstated that.
Yeah.
And you said, well, how the hell is he getting those? Don't you typically flush those? And I responded, I don't think you're supposed to. It fucks up your plumbing.
Yeah.
So Amy's saying,
which is true. Dental floss will do the same.
Yeah, I've always flushed them. She says, was I raised wrong? No way. I'm not letting the Detroit cast make me question this. I venture to say that if you were to poll most women, they would say that they flush them. They're just biodegradable cotton. You would not want to flush pads at the risk of screwing up your plumbing, but tampons you definitely flush. So there you go, more tampon knowledge for you. So the first thing I did when I received this today, I turned to my lovely wife, Gab.
Yeah.
And I said, Gab, what do you do with a used tampon?
Oh, no.
Do you flush them? She's like, of course you flush them, but you're not supposed to.
Can you
She's
Google this? Are you allowed?
Here's my understanding of it, and this
tampons?
is why I know this.
Used ones?
Up at State, we lived in this house in Gunson with like 8 dudes and like 2 bathrooms. And this one bathroom got plugged up because somebody shat in it, probably growth. Just a big,
absolutely,
big,
growth.
Nasty dump in that thing.
Yeah.
And plugged
Good
it
old
up.
beer, Michigan State shit by growth.
Oh,
Jason.
just plugged it up. And then
course.
we had a party and somebody puked in it. On top of the shit that had been sitting there for like a week.
Wait, so you plunged this?
Dude, we tried to plunge it. It wasn't going anywhere. It was just stuck. And so as happened every time there was an issue of having to contribute money to something, it hit a standstill. Okay. Because nobody could decide, well, how much do I owe? I mean, it was gross.
It wasn't
shit.
my shit. Yeah,
but you shit in there all the time, not as much as he does. So this whole thing goes back and forth, and you're at loggerheads. Right. There's no way you can resolve this thing.
Right.
So
your friend puked in the toilet.
So we resolved, fuck it. I'm not going to use it then.
Yeah.
I don't need to use it. I'll use the one downstairs. And it's sort of like, it's like a Mexican standoff. Everybody's like, oh, okay, yeah, sure. And then somebody has to puke. They puke on top of this shithole. And so it sits. And then finally we got a plumber and we all pitched in. Plumber comes, long story short, he goes, look, man, there's tampons.
There's an abundance.
There is an abundance. And I guess at the base of a toilet, there's sort of like a grate kind of thing. Like picture like a bunch of teeth there that's supposed to, the shit goes by it and it breaks it up. Kind of takes a swipe at it and it breaks shit up so it can flush down more. So these tampons, as you can imagine, get all clogged at that.
The cotton gets clogged.
Yeah,
in there.
or the string, whatever, catches on there, just as you said, dental floss too. And it just, creates a jam. And so
Total
Amy,
logjam.
sorry to tell you, Amy, but I don't believe you're supposed to do this just from a plumbing perspective.
Yeah.
But as Gab says, you're not supposed to do it, but everybody does.
Yeah.
So
that's brutal. What a mess having to deal with all that.
It's just,
I don't know how you ladies walk around with those
yeah,
things.
ovum dripping from you. I mean, it's just, ladies.
I would hold it in, wait till I got to work the next day, and then do it in their bathroom.
Can you believe we deal with this?
No.
Sex. I mean, I can't believe we put up with this for this long.
Yeah.
Amy adds, also, I wanted to give a shout out to my fellow pothead McCard. You guys made the declaration that marijuana will never replace alcohol. And while that may be the case, I unfortunately have discovered that drinking causes me to have terrible migraines every time.
Oh, really?
It just wasn't worth it to me anymore.
What is that? I get sick too sometimes. Headaches the next day. I don't know why.
Yeah, but migraines are different, man. You ever have a migraine?
Beth gets migraines.
Oh,
big time.
Blinking lights. You can't really see straight.
Yeah.
It's really,
they're
debilitating.
awful, man. Yeah.
I've never heard of alcohol.
Oh, I guess I've never had one.
Beth gets it with alcohol.
Seriously?
Yeah, she can have a glass of wine and then it's like migraine.
So the
It's
beauty of
awful.
that is you can smoke medical marijuana, as Amy does, and she's determined to change everyone's opinion of it. I still have a good time. I just don't drink all night. I sit back and chill and watch everyone make fools of themselves. It's pretty awesome. Power to the potheads. McCard Wikibase.
But see, that's the thing. I always think it is fun to watch people when there is times where it's definitely fun to watch other drunks when you're sober and watch people.
I find it so annoying when you're sober.
But no, but I'm saying there's moments I think where it's fun. But the thing is when she says like, oh, I sit back and dude, when you're at a bar and if it's like a karaoke bar or like last weekend when I was at State and everybody's drinking and playing flip cup or something, and if you were to sit there and it's just not the same, man.
Yeah,
it's not as fun. Sorry,
I agree.
Do you ever smoke? I mean,
no.
Have you?
I've tried a few times. I just cannot get. I thought I mentioned this on this show before.
You can't inhale?
I cannot inhale it down my
God.
fucking.
What?
I can't get smoke
God,
down
you're
my.
retarded.
You can't go.
It's like
you
a weird.
Breathe, right?
Yes, I do.
I
breath every day.
You can't go. Try it. Go.
I can do that. I've never been able to like.
Can you? You haven't proven that you can. Jay just
and then go like this.
Good.
Go like this. Just hold it like this. Don't do it.
I've tried a few times.
Killer. Fucking A.
Tried a few times. I couldn't.
You
like,
can do that. Do
I
it.
couldn't, like, no, I couldn't. I tried a few times. I couldn't, so I stopped.
Couldn't. Here he goes.
I know. Dude, I had people.
Look at that proof.
I've had more than a few potheads try to tell me, "Oh, smoke with me, and I'll get you to be. I'll show you how." And it's like, dude, it's the same thing everyone tells me. I can't do it.
I gotta admit, I kind of miss it.
Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear they've gotten great. I hear the new pot's gotten awesome. Like you can get stuff that just mellows you out, stuff that makes you laugh, stuff that, whatever. There's all kinds of them now. We should try it one day. We should do a Stone show.
Oh, we should.
We'll never air.
I can do an edible.
I heard some of that fucks you up really bad.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
I've never done that, but I've heard people really, really go overboard with that shit easily. Don't realize it.
Let's not do the synthetic marijuana.
Yeah, let's not do that.
I'm tired of reading stories about people doing
bath
synthetic.
salts, synthetic, not into that shit.
No.
Hey, I'm going to mention once again the Amazon link.
Amazon.
It's an amazing company.
Yeah.
There has never been a company quite like Amazon.
They pretty much have everything.
There is very little Amazon doesn't have.
So use our Amazon link, please. I'm not sure that we expressed that enough.
Yeah.
It really, really does help to see people purchasing shit over our link. We do get a kickback, so it's a great way to support the show.
And thank you to everybody that has used it and continues to use it.
Thank you to everybody who's supported the show. I mean, whether it be a share on Facebook, a tweet at us, whatever you're doing, there's a great way under help the show on our website, DetroitCast.com. There you'll find shareable show snippets, which are an awesome way to just kick the show around instead of asking somebody, a new listener, to listen to a whole episode where we might start out slower than normal, something like that, and they just go, fuck, I don't know what this guy's talking about. This isn't that great. Share a show sample because that's what they're meant to do. They're meant to just be punchy little samples of shit we've done. So
yeah, exactly. Some of our, I don't know if I'd say finer moments, but just,
sort of representative of what we do.
Yeah. Some discussion stuff, some funny stuff. There's a lot of stuff there, and we'll continue to add more and more. No throwing stuff in the studio.
Oh yeah,
it's just clean.
Okay, sorry.
Throwing me. Why is he throwing?
Because you're a fuckhead. That's why. Do I need a reason?
You do look. I mean, honestly, you look like someone you want to just throw shit at.
That's what it is. It's not my fault.
I understand it's not your fault, but we got to go against.
He ate it.
What was it? Oh, a gummy bear. You throwing gummies at him? Not a white one. What are you, insane?
Dude, we've got 85 pounds up there.
I know, but still.
If you want to separate them by white, like I said, we've got 18 pounds of white up there.
Oh, how's that going to sound? If I'm taking just the white ones, of course, Mike's taking just the white ones.
Mike's eating just the white ones.
Ugh. Anyway, are we good with Yeah, I actually heard that. That better not land on the ground. This pristine carpet. We've cleaned this place for Massey.
It's beautiful.
All right. We good?
We're good.
All right. Well, let's call it a day on a Tuesday. Thanks, everybody, for hanging with us. And we'll do it again tomorrow. We'll see you guys then.
You've been listening to the Detroit Cast with your hosts, Mike and Jay. From all of us at Radio for One Studios, thank you for listening. And as always, thank you, Detroit.
Listen to God, watch